Hey, what's going on, sports fans? What's going on? What's going on? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, and thank you so much for checking out another edition of the State of the NFL podcast, as well as the State of the Saints podcast. And I'm collaborating yet again because this is yet another watch along. The Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Los Angeles Chargers in Brazil. As of right now, the game is 7-0. The Chargers on their first possession just went right down the field on the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs defense looking a tad bit suspect right now, but nonetheless, still should be an interesting game as long as you got Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback. But I want to say thank you so much. Shouts out to everybody that's watching this across platforms. And we're also going to be getting into some NFL news. We're going to be talking about Chase Young being ruled out by the New Orleans Saints. He won't be playing in a week one matchup versus the Arizona Cardinals. And that is a very huge situation for the New Orleans Saints. Everybody was anticipating Chase Young being a threat and a factor for the New Orleans Saints defensively. Having a new defensive coordinator in Brandon Staley coming in with a 3-4 defense seemed like it would benefit Chase Young. But the Saints will not be without him. And the question is, how long will that be dealing with that calf injury? But I want to give a special shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Shouts out to Jerry. Shouts out to Addison. Shouts out to Veep. Shouts out to all those that are watching this live right now. 2nd and 10, we got Justin Herbert throwing a pass down the field to Ladd McConkey coming in for his second season. He's supposed to be a big-time target for Justin this year. And also you got Keenan Allen back in the fold, man. I didn't expect for Keenan Allen to be, out there as quickly. He only been with the team for the last, 2 or 3 weeks, but seeing him out there in quite a few offensive packages. And also Quentin Johnston, man, giving the man some credit here. The guy who has been notorious for dropping passes and, in big time moments, he has come up big in this game to start it off. Big time 50-yard reception and then closing it off with a touchdown. And also the biggest storyline for the Chargers to me is you don't see Najee Harris out there. Najee Harris, the reports were that he was going to start, but since then you've seen a heavy dose of Amarian Hampton. So you have the Chargers after that really good, impressive offensive drive to start the game. They stall out, and that's a 3-and-out. So the Chiefs will get the ball back. And also the status of wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs, Xavier Worthy, went out on the first possession with a shoulder injury. So that's pretty tough right there, especially when you know that Rashee Rice is missing 6 games. You definitely need him to be able to step up. And also that opens up opportunity for guys like Thornton and Hollywood Brown to be able to do something, in the passing game for Patrick Mahomes. He needs someone he can rely on. All right, so here we go. Let's see. They say, I think the Chargers are going to get the W. I mean, look, I think the Chargers are a really good team. They're well coached, no doubt about that. But, I mean, it's hard to bet against the Chiefs. But, I mean, Jim Harbaugh is a really good coach. And we know that the AFC West right now, they have the best coaches in all of football. I mean, every last one of those coaches are decorated. Pete Carroll, Super Bowl champion. Jim Harbaugh, national champion, went to the Super Bowl with the 49ers. Andy Reid, multi-time Super Bowl champion. And, of course, Saints fans know him very well. Sean Payton winning the Super Bowl with the New Orleans Saints back in 2009. So I don't think you can find a more decorated division. I honestly, man, I don't think you can find a more decorated division anywhere. Like, I think this might be the most decorated coaching division I ever seen in my lifetime. But maybe somebody can come up with something else, but I can't. But, yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough for the New Orleans Saints when it comes to Chase Young. Chase Young was poised to have a really good season. I don't know how many games this is going to be, but the fact that he hurt his calf, I know it has to stink because I'm pretty sure for the first time in a long time, he felt healthy. Now, you got to think about last season when he signed with the New Orleans Saints, he had to get neck surgery, and, he had to navigate through that. And then finally you come into this season, it seems like you're explosive, everything clicking on all cylinders, and you're looking like you're going to be a disruptor, and then you get a setback with a calf injury. So hopefully it won't keep him out for a substantial amount of time, but it also opens up opportunity for other young players to step up and be able to make some plays, man. I'm interested to see will the New Orleans Saints activate some of these young guys like Jasheem Davis or, Fidel Diggs, or are they going to get an opportunity to be a part of this pass rushing front for the New Orleans Saints? And also, guys like Brian Brzee, and Cam Jordan and Carl Granderson, they're going to have to step up and, going to have to make some plays. So they're going to have to compensate for the loss of Chase Young. But, it's interesting to see what the New Orleans Saints defense is going to look like anyway. It's kind of hard to know how the New Orleans Saints were going to utilize Chase Young because we haven't seen it, right? Defensively, you don't know what they were going to do. So when it all comes down to it, you got to wonder to yourself, how were they going to use him in the first place? 1st and 10, Patrick Mahomes throws the pass down the field, and looks like it was intercepted. All right, well, it said it was an incomplete pass, so he wants to run it back. He said that he caught it. So let's see if he actually caught this pass. If he did, this is freaking incredible. Nah, it hit the ground. It hit the ground. Yeah, it hit the ground. But I mean, great effort right there by Jackson. That was a great effort right there, but he didn't catch it. What do y'all think about these games on YouTube, man? What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about the games being on YouTube? I know it's kind of hard. I'm for live streamers like myself, to be able to do it because you're actually streaming on YouTube, and then also like the other people trying to watch the game. So what do y'all think about this? Do y'all like it? For those that are enjoying the YouTube experience. Let me go ahead and go to the comments here. I already read that. Thank you, Addison. Says, what you mean, canon and most hated? Let's see. Chiefs going to trade for a wide receiver. I mean, they got some talented guys, man. It's just they got to stay healthy. They got to stay healthy. But this is a 3rd and 9. Patrick Mahomes in the gun, looking. He throws the ball down the field. He goes deep, and he tries to hit Thornton for the 2nd time. And they just can't hook up, man. So, I mean, the absence of Xavier Worthy is huge in this game. And the reason why is I'm pretty sure they had different packages for him. They were going to line him up in a multifaceted of ways. And when he's not in the game, man, it basically probably eliminates a lot out of your playbook. So Patrick Mahomes, man, right now, to me, hasn't been accurate in this game. Not as accurate as we've seen him in years past. So, let's see if he can actually bounce back. But both team defenses seem like they came to play, unlike some of them the defense that we watched on last night. Which, if you tuned in to the live stream for the Philadelphia Eagles Dallas Cowboys game, I really do appreciate it. Much love to you. We had to cut the stream short, man, because of the weather delay, the lightning. But it turned out to be a fun game. It was an exciting game. It was edge of seat. And that's the best thing that you can ask for, especially as a network like NBC. But I think the story of the game, of course, was the spitting incident that involved Jalen Carter of the Philadelphia Eagles and quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott. And it turns out that Dak Prescott actually spit first, but he was saying he was spitting down on the ground. And as we see, oh man, he running down, Conklin running down the field. And, he ends up fumbling the football, and good play by Ladd McConkey running behind him and just tossing the ball out of bounds. And I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be a penalty on him, but at the end of the day, I'll take that penalty over the fumble going back to the Kansas City Chiefs. But, yeah, I mean, that whole spitting incident, it was – I feel like Dak Prescott knew who he was dealing with. He knew that Jalen Carter was a bit of a hothead, so he probably used that to his advantage, and he did. And I think it was the main reason why the Dallas Cowboys were able to be effective running the football. You didn't have to worry about Jalen Carter plugging up the A gap. So, it was tough. You definitely don't want to do that. I mean, it was classless by Jalen Carter to spit in the face of Dak Prescott, and you hurt your team at the end of the day. Bad hombre Pablo Escobar reported reposted this stream. Is they talking about me in the chat, says Cannon McGee. Says Patrick Mahomes definitely looks off tonight. Well, I mean, look, I was talking about this on the other night, Jules. I feel like, the lack of these preseason games and the way that these practices are structured in training camp, I think it affects the way that these teams start off. You're probably going to see a lot of teams that are going to start off the season with drop passes, inaccurate throws, miscommunication, bad tackling. That just comes with the territory because, all these new CBA rules, which I understand, you want to protect the players, but you also the game is going to pay the price for a few weeks until these guys get acclimated. And there we go, Marion Hampton, really good run right there. So they're looking to really utilize him, man. Once again, have not seen Najee Harris yet, but Marion Hampton, I mean, they got big plans for this young man. And we know that Jim Harbaugh likes to run the football. And this guy has really good pad level, really good footwork. And I just think that as long as he can stay healthy, I think he can be a workhorse back for the Chargers. I think they need that. Haven't had that since LT left. Had some talented guys, but not on that level. He can be that guy. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can run in between the tackles. He can pick up the blitz. So let's see. All right, Justin Herbert in the gun, looking, throws the ball down the field. That pass is caught to Keenan Allen. The veteran Keenan Allen back with the Los Angeles Chargers for a second stint. Long-time Charger, got all the statistical records for the most part as a wide receiver, just trying to add on to his already well-decorated career. So Justin Herbert finds him in the flat, man, just down the field. Nice in route right there, catches it, sends his hands, gets down on the ground before having to absorb any type of punishment. And you're taking a look at Steve Spagnuolo, defensive coordinator of the Chiefs, a guy who knows defense, but right now his defense is teetering, and Justin Herbert is right now picking it apart. All right, so here we go. Play action. Justin Herbert looking, throws the ball down the field, and that pass is caught, and that's to Conklin again. So Conklin had a big play, two big plays on this drive, and the Kansas City Chiefs defense is leaking right now, man. You can see the oil on the ground right now. All right, so you got Conklin on a corner route. I mean, just sneaks out of the backfield, man. A little delayed corner route. Got the defense confused. It just seemed like Kansas City just a little bit off tonight, man. I don't know if it's jet lag or they just – I mean, they practice more and play more preseason reps as a starting team as I've seen like any team in the NFL. So here's some more laundry on the field. And also, we got to take a look at Joe Alt, man, who went over from right tackle back to left tackle, his natural position he played at Notre Dame because Slater has been ruled out for the season. So he's playing at his natural position right now. You got Mekhi Becton, who looked like he had food poisoning, man. If you look at his social media page, he looked like he was laid up in a hospital bed because he said he had some beans out in Brazil. So he may have food poisoning. So maybe that might affect him. You definitely wanted Mekhi Becton to be in there at the guard position. Say, what up, Tim? Good to see you, bro. What's going on, Chosen? Appreciate you, man, for being here. Let's see. Watching SmackDown with Cena and Zayn for the U.S. Championship. Well, we know. I mean, we know that John Cena not winning the United States Championship. That would be insane. I mean, especially since Sami Zayn just won it last week, which I ain't agree with. I just don't understand the whole Sami Zayn experience. Man, that boy is toting the mail. Justin Herbert, man, looking like Marshawn Lynch on that play. I don't know, man. Kansas City, they better wake up because it seems like the Chargers are ready to establish themselves in this AFC West. But yet again, a good play comes, and the next thing you know, it gets taken off the board because of a holding penalty. Self-inflicted wounds right here. Like I said, you're probably going to see a lot of this type of stuff going on throughout the entire, first half of the season because these guys haven't played many meaningful downs in a long time. So I expect for some issues to happen. The Chargers have our old offensive coordinator. Yeah, I mean, look, they look pretty good. I don't have an issue with that at all. I don't have an issue with it. I don't have an issue with that at all. I think they were able to move the ball down the field. I think Justin Herbert is making some really good decisions. He's getting the ball out on time, getting the ball into the hands of his playmakers. He even utilizing the tight end. So to me, I don't have an issue with it. I think they're doing a really good job right now, being able to matriculate the ball down the field. It seems like the Kansas City Chiefs are a little bit dazed and confused right now. Giving a shout out to the OG. But yeah, I mean, when I look at the New Orleans Saints game versus the Arizona Cardinals, first off, I just want to say I do have the New Orleans Saints winning on Sunday, despite not having Chase Young. I think it might be a tough game, but I expect for the New Orleans Saints to utilize Alvin Kamara. I think the offensive play, the game plan is going to be mostly like trying to allow these speedy receivers to make catches in space to be able to run past the defenders. I expect to see some of that. I expect to see some deep passes down the field. I expect to see some mesh concepts that allow guys like Rashid Shaheed to catch the ball in stride, and you're not going to catch them. So I think that you're probably going to see the New Orleans Saints try to turn games into a track meet. And I also just think that you're probably going to see the New Orleans Saints defense, especially in the secondary, probably give up some plays, but I think that it might come down to the Saints kind of generating some turnovers, maybe an interception in order to give the offense a short field. You're probably going to see some Blake Groupie field goals. That just seems like that's just going to be a thing this season. But I expect for the New Orleans Saints to, be able to utilize these wide receivers come this Sunday versus the Arizona Cardinals. But I expect for the Arizona Cardinals to be able to do some things against the Saints too. So probably going to be one of them edge of seat games. Probably going to be a frustrating game. Probably going to be kind of sloppy. But I think the Saints can get the win if they go out there and they just battle and just go out there and do the best they can. TJ, these penalties in this game are crazy. Seems they only come in when the Chargers make a big play. Yeah, I mean, it seems that way, right? I mean, sometimes those penalties can kill momentums. Not only do they kill drives, they kill momentum too. I mean, you get all excited, you think that a play is fully executed, and then all of a sudden, here comes the laundry, and you converted a 15-yard play, 20-yard play, and then all of a sudden something happens, and now you got to go backwards. Yeah, that kills the momentum. But looking at the time of possession, I mean, 15 plays, 145 yards, 915. And then you got 12 plays, 33 yards, and 545 for the Chiefs. So 915 for the Chargers, 545 for the Chiefs. So, I mean, they're controlling the time of possession. They're converting. Looking really good right now, man. Good balance. All right, here we go. Justin Herbert on a 1st and 30. Throws, he checks it down, and that pass is caught. Najee Harris finally getting some action. Keep in mind, Najee Harris missed most of the offseason activities due to an eye injury that he had in a 4th of July fireworks incident. They were saying that it wasn't that serious, but him not being around, I think we have to think otherwise. All right, so here we go. 2nd and 25. Herbert in a gun. He throws it, launches it up the field. Miscommunication right there. Seems like, they were on the wrong, they weren't on the same page there. Seemed like Justin Herbert wanted him to go towards the goal line. He thought that it was going to be more of a hitch route here. All right, so he cuts off his route. Yep. All of a sudden, ball goes on. Yeah, so I guess he probably thought he was running like a sluggo or something, but, miscommunication right there. But like I said, early football, very sloppy before guys get on the same page. TJ, what you think about the Milwaukee Admirals logo? I feel is one of the top 5 coolest logos in pro sports. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really know that much about the Milwaukee Admirals logo. I mean, I don't know that much about them, man, to be honest with you, Josh. Let's see. Chiefs will win 33-17. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility, but they got to get going. Here we go. Cameron Dicker, one of the most accurate kickers in football, 94%, percentage, which is incredible. So we're gonna see if he can make this 39-yard field goal attempt here to put his team up by 10 points. Snap, placement, kick on the way up, and He kicks it high and it goes right through, but there is a flag on the play, which seems like it's been a theme over this entire drive. About 3 or 4 flags have been thrown. And that, all right, so that was offsides on the Kansas City Chiefs. He makes the field goal, no harm, no foul. So now Patrick Mahomes and his offense has got to get it going. Andy Reid, very concerned about his team right now, especially with the sluggish start that they have. So gonna see if they can actually wake up, maybe convert some first downs and get a drive going. Let's see, ATJ, what's the rule on fumbling and an offensive player knocking the ball out of bounds? That threw me off when McConaughey got. Yeah, because that's unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, man. That's unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Like you can't, okay. So there was a play back in the day, Keno, they called the Holy Roller, right? It was a play by the Raiders, right? It was a play that they needed to win the football game, and they end up, who was that? I don't know if it was Jim Plunkett or I don't know if it was Jim Plunkett or not, but he ended up throwing a pass to the tight end Casper, and he ends up like dropping the ball, and they end up like rolling the ball up the field, all the way up the field, like maybe like 20 yards, and then the offense fell on it for a touchdown. So the play is like dubbed like a holy roller. So with that, people felt like they were actually purposely, just, rolling the ball up the field in order for them to be able to, maybe pounce on it and try to get a touchdown. So because of that, they end up changing the rules. So you can't like advance the ball. Like if you try to recover a fumble, you have to recover. You can't just, pick it up and toss it out of bounds like that. Like, so it's a penalty. It's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. But yeah, it all stemmed from that holy roller play way back in the day. I don't know if that was Jim Plunkett or I can't remember who the Raiders quarterback was. It may have been Plunkett, but that play right there, it's the reason why you can't do that. Yeah, called the holy roller. But yeah, you will get flagged for that. I mean, I think it's a smart play, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't be upset if I was a coach that a player did something like that. Like that's similar. That's like if somebody on a fast break in basketball and you just run down there and just wrap your arms around them and force a foul. It's a foul, but at the end of the day, if you foul them, they have to reset, and you still can, go out there and try to play defense and get that possession back. So, I mean, I don't have no problem with it. I think the difference this season will be that we have a coach that can make adjustments according to the flow of the game. We haven't had that in a while. Well, he's going to have to make adjustments. Derek, Kellen Moore is going to have to make adjustments if the New Orleans Saints are going to find success, and they definitely got to stay ahead of the chain. So he probably got to put together one of his best coaching performances. Let's see. It's the logo in my profile pic. Also, does New Orleans have a pro hockey team? Nah, they don't have a pro hockey team. I know there was some talk about them possibly getting one, but I don't know how excited New Orleans fans would be for a hockey team. I don't think it would generate the type of excitement that they want. If we can get the ground and pound going with our running backs, I think they're going to set up big plays down the field. Yeah, I mean, if you can run the ball, I mean, it can set up the play action down the field because guys have to respect the run. On 1st and 10, we see Patrick Mahomes delivering a pass to Hollywood Brown for about 6 or 7 yards. And the Kansas City Chiefs got to get going here. They definitely got to get going. All right, so, I mean, 2 of 7, 29% completion percentage, lower completion percentage in the first quarter since the Super Bowl against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And we all know, I mean, he was running for his life the entire time there. So let's see if they can get it together. I mean, you don't have Xavier Worthy, which I don't think you don't have. I think he separated his shoulder, broke his collarbone. Like the way that he was grimacing in pain. I think that you probably he's gone for the night. All right, here we go. Patrick Mahomes, 2nd and 4, tried to check it down. Miscommunication right there between him and Pacheco. So I don't know, man. Very sloppy performance so far by the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, you bring the pressure. It seemed like, they're not on the same page, the offensive linemen. You got You got Patrick Mahomes, like pressure all up in his face. So these exotic blitzes and getting pressure on Patrick Mahomes has been key for the Chargers. I mean, right now they don't have any response for what the Chargers are doing defensively. So 3rd and 4 for the Kansas City Chiefs, man. You gotta get something done here. Okay, so here we go. Quick pass. That pass is caught, and he gets tackled and short of the first down. So that's gonna bring up 4th down. And now it's decision time. I don't know if you want to maybe go for it the way that your offense has been looking. I mean, you can really put yourself in a hole right here. So it was a really good tackle by Jackson. I mean, he didn't even give him a chance. He didn't even give him a chance to try to extend the ball out or anything like that. So it's 4th and 1. It looked like the Chiefs are going to go ahead and go for it. So we got to see what's going to happen here. It's a little bit too long for a sneak play here. Let's see. No, here's the handoff to Pacheco. Kareem Hunt. So Kareem Hunt goes around to the right side and gets the first down. And, man, they needed that. They needed that badly. I didn't believe that they were actually going to try to sneak it anyway because even though it was 4th and 1, that was a long one. So good play by Kareem Hunt. I don't know, man. Since Isaiah Pacheco got injured last season, it just seemed like he just hasn't been the same running back. Let's see if he can actually get going. Because if not, you might want to go with Kareem Hunt. Because Kareem Hunt was running the ball much better last season down the stretch for the Chiefs. All right, so we got a 1st and 10 for the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. All right, so here's the handoff to Pacheco. There we go, running down the field. And he gets a good little chunk of change right there, about 6 or 7 yards. He's a very fiery guy, man. He runs with a lot of violence, you know, and you know, I like the way that he runs the football, but he got to get going, man. Got to get going. Jet, what's going on, man? Appreciate you for being here. Hello, what's going on, man? Appreciate you for being here as well. Chiefs out here looking like cheeks. All right, so here it goes, a pass, and that pass is caught by Hollywood Brown. So very early in the game, you had Hollywood Brown miss that pass on a 3rd and 9, would have been a first down, move to chains. And, you know, the last few passes that have been thrown to him, he has been right there for him. And he's going to have to step up, man. Like I said, Xavier Worthy not in the game. You got an aging Travis Kelce, who I don't feel like, you know, is active. You know, he probably be, you know, around for red zone situations and stuff like that. But these guys are going to have to step up. They're going to have to step up. All right, so here we go. Noah Gray in motion. Patrick Mahomes going around the side, trying to scramble, goes around the side, and he runs out of bounds. So he gets about 3 or 4 yards on the play. So using those legs, Patrick Mahomes. So anything you can keep the drive alive. You want to stay ahead of the chain. So it's official. Xavier Worthy out with a shoulder injury. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he probably separated his shoulder, broke his collarbone, one or the other. Like the way he was like grimacing in pain, like he was in some serious pain, man. I felt bad looking at a young king like that because you know that he was poised to have a big game, and he's a key part to their offense. Let's see, TJ. So if that's the case, why isn't a flag when players can't recover the ball? Based on what you said, it sounds like determining if someone is advancing it or just can't recover it is subjective. I don't know. I guess like why he was like what his intentions were. Like, are you trying to recover the football, or are you just trying to like toss it out of bounds? I don't know. I guess like the fact that was just his intent was just but you're advancing the football at the same time. Like, you know, if he tried to throw it behind him and it falls out, I don't think that probably would have been. The fact that it advanced the ball, that's the reason I guess they called it unsportsmanlike kind of penalty. All right, that was a good play right there. I would say if he get that first down, that's pretty cool. But I don't think he is. But anyway, yeah, I just think that maybe because you advanced it and it just added more yards or something. I don't know. I mean, look, it's the NFL, but I know that if you advance the ball forward, it's like an unsportsmanlike kind of penalty. My friend has AJ Brown and Worthy starting on fantasy. Man, it's gonna be a rough start for him. Rough start. Let's see. Yeah, but I think I already read that. But yeah, I just think that it just has something to do with the fact that the ball got advanced forward. I mean, that's the only logical explanation that I would have for a situation like that. So I don't know. I can't really explain that. I, I guess we can probably take a look at it. Let me see. I'm actually looking this up right now. I'm trying to see something. Trying to see what the NFL rule is. There you go. Let's see. The rule for advancing a fumble ball by the offense in American vary depends on the league. Let's see. General rule. In most situations, any player from either team can recover and advance a fumble regardless of whether it is an offensive or defensive player. I think we're already up to that. All right. No holy roller or fourth down. So unlike the NFL, NCAA has a special restriction on advancing a fumble on a fourth down. So you can't advance in the NFL, you cannot advance a fumble. Rather, it is throwing the ball out of bounds or throwing the ball out of bounds. So it says that it's against the rules, according to this. So they call it the holy roller rule. I about to say, I know like it stemmed from that holy roller. So the fact that the ball went forward, he picked it up. He didn't try to recover it, King Arthur. He just tossed it out of bounds and it went forward. So that was unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on that. So that's the reason why. If he would have just tossed it and it would have went sideways or something, it wouldn't have been a penalty. But the fact that it went forward beyond, I guess, where the fumble, where the ball was dropped, it was a penalty. So appreciate the play-by-play. While I'm on the road, can you update me often as what field position the ball is at? Okay, Alex, no problem. All right, the ball on the 40-yard line right now. So we got Juju Smith-Schuster on a second down. Just made a play. So we got about 7 minutes, 28 seconds left. Of course, the game is 10-0 right now. Chargers got the lead. You got the Kansas City Chiefs driving. Little short pass right there, and that's what you need. Like I think they came out the gate. I'm talking Kansas City, trying to look for the explosive, and I don't think that's necessarily a good thing. I don't think that was a good thing. I think that you just need to kind of get a drive going like this. And here we go. We got Pacheco running somebody over and gets down to about the 9-yard line. And that is enough for a first down. So that's going to set up first and goal for the Kansas City Chiefs. And this is the type of drive they needed, man. Like, let's just go out here. Let's just try to sustain a drive. Let's try to, get something together. Let's not try to get it all back at once. Right? I mean, just methodically, get the ball down the field. And they're doing a really good job right now. All right, so ball security is key here. Make sure you don't have no turnovers. Hollywood Brown in motion on the first and goal. You got Patrick Mahomes in the gun, snapped, pump fakes, tries to throw it to Hollywood Brown. Little miscommunication right there. I think maybe Patrick Mahomes may have thought that he was about to come back to the football, but instead, ball just drops to the ground for an incomplete pass. You got the red zone comparison. The Chargers defense, number 1, and you got the Chiefs offense, number 10. So one of the best red zone defenses in football here. This is where the Chargers buckle down. And you have the Chiefs who are a top 10 offense in the red zone. So very credible offense. All right, so let's see what we can do. Maybe this is one of those plays where Travis Kelce can get involved here. All right, we got Hollywood Brown in motion. Patrick Mahomes. All right, tried to get it to Brown, tried to get around the defender, and he gets tackled for probably a yard, if that, gets back to the line of scrimmage. So this is going to bring up third and goal. And we take a look at Andy Reid and understands the importance of this drive. You got to get some points. And this has been a relatively quick game, man. We're about 5 minutes. We got about 5 minutes left in the second quarter, man. So this game is just flying by. All right, so you got Patrick Mahomes in the gun, got Kareem Hunt in the backfield, third down situation. So let's see what they can actually do right here. All right, he's calling out the protections. You got Hunt in motion, looking. He steps up, scrambles around the side, tries to go around, tries to get away, but he cannot, and he is sacked. So just like that, the Mahomes magic did not work on that play. Usually he can escape out of that like a magician, but not in that case. All right, so here we go. He tried to go around the side, tried to run back, and he did not let up. So he gets the sack, gets him down on the ground, and now they're going to have to settle for a Harrison Buckner field goal. All right, 35 yards. Snap placement, kick on the way, straight down the upright there, so it's good. So didn't get 7 points, but you did get some points on the board. So they cut the Chargers lead within 7 now, and now Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City Chiefs defense are going to have to take the field and try to get the ball back to Patrick. Hopefully he can facilitate a 2-minute drill. Take a look at some of these stats here. Take a look at some of the stats of this game. But I think the name of the game is just missed opportunities by the Chargers. Big plays only being erased by penalties. And Patrick Mahomes and the offense just couldn't sustain a drive until the one we just seen. But Patrick Mahomes is 10 of 17, 57 yards. He was sacked once, of course, what we just seen. Justin Herbert, 9 of 12, 132 yards, 1 touchdown. You got Isaiah Pacheco. He's 4 carries for 22 yards, averaging about 5 yards a carry. Patrick Mahomes, 2 carries for 15 yards, 7.5. And Kareem Hunt, 2 carries for 3 yards. 2 carries for 6 yards. He has a 3-yard average. And as a group, they're averaging about 4.8. Marion Hampton has 4 carries for 22 yards, 5.5-yard average. And Justin Herbert has a 1 carry for 6 yards, 5.6 average as a group. Juju Smith-Schuster leads the Kansas City Chiefs in receiving yards right now, 2 catches for 22 yards. And you got Tyler Conklin, 2 catches for 50 yards. And Quentin Johnston has 2 catches for 38 yards and the touchdown on the night. So very early in the game. I mean, game's still wide open. But, the Kansas City Chiefs defense is going to have to step up. All right. They got Cameron Jordan's mom on the Downy commercial. I know that ought to be pretty cool for him. Let's see. You speaking of truth, TJ. I have my moments when I come out firing and Madden, then got to reevaluate. It's 1 yard at a time for a reason. Yeah, a lot of people, they try to start off with the fireworks and they try to start off trying to make these big plays down the field. But the reality is, like, you got to be able to just, take what the defense give you. It's pretty obvious that the Chargers expected for the Chiefs to go out there, just try to throw the ball all over the place. And, they weren't going to allow you to do that. Like, you take away one of the biggest threats that the team has, right? So, they got this thing, nothing cheap, nothing deep, So now you have to take what they give you. And, they were able to get the ball down the field. Lucky for them, they were able to convert a couple 3rd and 1s, 4th and 1s. All right, so now we're going to see what the Chargers are going to do with 2 in the second quarter with 4 minutes and 50 seconds left. What's happening, Chad? Can't wait to see them gold end zones, especially if our team scores in them. Yeah, hopefully they can get that done. Hopefully the New Orleans Saints can be able to score in the Superdome, right? Instead of just getting down to the red zone and we just watching Blake Groupie all evening. But yeah, I mean, that was a good start right there for them to be able to get this offense on track. But let's see what Justin Herbert can do. He's in the gun right now on the first down, on the 1st and 10. And here we go. They snap. Hand the ball off. This is to Marion Hampton. He leans forward for about 2 or 3 yards. So we're seeing a lot of Marion Hampton tonight. And, like I said, Najee Harris was reportedly supposed to be the starter, but we see Marion Hampton quite often tonight. So I don't know if it had anything to do with maybe Najee Harris wasn't really there as much, but Marion Hampton taking advantage of his opportunities right now. All right, so this defense of the Kansas City Chiefs have got to get these guys off the field in order to get the ball back to Patrick Mahomes. Maybe they have a chance of tying this game by halftime. All right, so here we go. They try to get pressure on him. Okay, good blitz pickup right there by Marion Hampton. You know, you had your corner trying to go on a corner blitz. Marion Hampton was able to pick it up, but it's still an incomplete pass right there. I think it was intended for the legend Keenan Allen. All right, so Steve Spagnuolo trying to dial up the right play on third down, trying to disguise some things, trying to confuse Justin Herbert. So I see if he can get him on the ground or they can get an incomplete pass. See if they can get the ball back to Patrick Mahomes here on the 3rd and 7. All right, so here we go. We got Justin Herbert in a gun calling out his protections here. All right, so here you go. They bring the blitz. It's good pickup right there. That pass is caught for a first down by Ladd McConkey, almost to midfield. So about the 48-yard line right there. Big time clutch catch right there by Ladd. I mean, huge expectation for Ladd McConkey this season. It's pretty obvious that they want him to be the featured guy. So you're looking at Chris Jones going up against the second-year guy, Joe Alt. Really good job by Joe Alt. I mean, nobody ever thought like he was going to be bad moving the left tackle. That's the reason why he was one of the top picks. Here we go. All right. Nick Bolton he just flew through the line, but he just couldn't get the tackle and get his arms around Amari and Hampton. But still, the defense of the Kansas City Chiefs were able to kind of wrestle him down before he can do anything. So he got about, he ended up losing yards on that play. So he brings up a 2nd and 11. All right, so here we go, 2nd and 11. Got Justin Herbert under center here. All right, now he audibles out. Now he's in a gun. All right. So they feel like they're going to bring pressure here. All right, so play action, looking. Justin Herbert looking downfield, and that pass is caught to a wide open Ladd McConkey. He spins around and gets the ball to about the 30-yard line. So yet again, Trent McDuffie, that's one of your best corners, if not the best corner on your team, and not one of his finest hours right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, this play, if you're watching this at home, these are the type of plays I feel like Kellen Moore is probably going to be calling for the Saints. Did y'all like that's like one of them plays, like those mesh routes where it clears everything out and you have your speedy receiver that just, comes across the field. Those are the type of plays I see the Saints doing on, throughout the season. Those are those concepts, those mesh concepts that I was referring to. That was a really good play design right there for Justin Herbert, and good pass by him to Ladd McConkey. TJ, how you feel about Chase Young? Come on now. The start of the season is this Sunday, and you go out and get hurt at practice on Wednesday. Why are you going so hard in practice, though? Well, look, I think the guy just going hard in practice because that's just the type of player he is. That's just how he wired. Like I say, man, you can't put guys in bubble wrap, Gregory. I mean, I understand your frustration. Everybody expect for Chase Young to be able to be a force this season for the Saints. But unfortunately, he's going to be out. So it's the next man up. And, it's just kind of hard for me to know what I'm missing if I ain't seen it. And I'm not saying that he wouldn't have been effective. And no, I'm not saying that he wouldn't have did anything. What I'm saying is with this 3-4 defense, I want to see if maybe some of these other guys can be able to step up, make some plays in the absence of Chase Young. So maybe another young player can be able to go out there and be a part of this rotation and maybe be a disruptor or maybe be able to track down Kyler Murray. So this could be a great opportunity for some of these younger players as well, in the loss of a Chase Young not being available for you. I agree, TJ. It looks like he was trying to just knock it out, which is I'm cool with. I'm just wondering how subjective it is. Let me see, it's how subjective it is, or is it that it just can't be egregious, Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we all know sometimes, they follow the letters of the law when it comes to the Chiefs sometimes, They dust off the rule book. They know them rules to try to help them. Who that? TJ and Chad fam, we up in here. Brian, appreciate you for being here, man. Man, TJ, I'm a truck driver. I hate the shut stream east down, Doc. Who that? Yeah, a lot of people are very upset about Stream East being shut down. I heard a lot of that. It's unfortunate, man. I mean, those streaming networks definitely, help people, but y'all know this modern day streaming right now. Everybody wants all the money. Everybody wants you to be able to, subscribe to them and pay $20-$30 for the streaming package. It's just like me being a wrestling fan. A lot of their premium live events going to be on ESPN, which is going to cause you to have to buy, ESPN app that costs about $30 a month in order for you to watch, WrestleMania, watch, some of these events that they have instead of being on Peacock, where I'm probably charging about $13.99. So yeah, it's very frustrating, man. But these networks and these companies want your money, and they're gonna shut down those ones that are that are beneficial to you. 1st and 10, you got Justin Herbert looking, throws the ball deep down the field, and tries to hit Ladd McConkey, but too long, incomplete, brings up 2nd and 10. Yeah, so I mean, like I said, good sluggo route right there. He tried to get it, tried to cut in, cuts out, gets behind him. I mean, really good play, but just a little bit out of his reach. If that was Quentin Johnston, yeah, it probably would have been incomplete too, but he probably would have got his hands on it. Let's see. What up, TJ? Do you think Kellen Moore's fast-paced practice reps during training camp will translate to real-time games with the roster? Yeah, I think it will. I think you're gonna see a lot of tempo. They're gonna try to speed this process up. All right. So Justin Herbert tries to get around and he gets as much as he can. He slides, but he gets about 2 or 3 yards on the play. So this is going to bring up 3rd down for Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Flirting with the red zone right now. But yeah, I think it'll translate. TJ, if you can combine a decent run game with the mesh concept and play action, we can beat a lot of teams. Yeah, and that's what I expect for them to do. That's the reason I feel like they ain't trying to go out here and get all these big body receivers. I think they're going to try to turn this offense into a track, like a track team. That's what I think. Like that play that Ladd McConkey ran when he ran that cross. That cross is like right a clean across the field. Like if you notice, the other wide receivers cleared that out. It was a little bit of a delay by Ladd. He goes, into the flat, and Justin Herbert just hit him. Like he wide open. So if you're a decent quarterback, you should be able to eat in this type of offense. No doubt about it. So I think that's the reason why New Orleans Saints are excited, and feel comfortable with this offense. All right, so 3rd and 6, Justin Herbert, and that pass is caught by Keenan Allen. So you had Keenan Allen in the slot, and that's enough for a 1st down. So Keenan Allen, that's more than likely what his role is going to be throughout the season here. Inside a little quick slant to the inside, finds a soft spot, gets the 1st down. All right, so you have a timeout. A timeout by the Chiefs trying to get the ball back. Good stuff, TJ, on the NFC South Roundtable Show. Is awesome. You guys do good work, NFC South versus the world. Steve, I appreciate that, man. It's always amazing and pretty cool that people, find, my channel and support the channel, because of the NFC South Roundtable, which I have a lot of fun over there, hanging out with Clay and Berto and James, we have a lot of fun over there, man. We talk football. All those guys are really good individuals. They love their respective teams. And we just have, like I said, we just have a good time over there. All right, so here we go. 1st and 10. You got Justin Herbert under center here. All right, you get Quentin Johnston in motion. And here's the handoff to Marion Hampton, but he goes absolutely nowhere. He even loses a yard on the play. So really, really good penetration right there by Chris Jones and the defensive front. So the clock continues to tick. Not what you necessarily want if you're the Kansas City Chiefs. Definitely what you probably want if you are the Chargers, because it doesn't give Patrick Mahomes the opportunity to get the ball back. at least to try to facilitate a 2-minute drill here. So 2nd and 11 for the Chargers, trying to pull away a little bit, trying to make this lead a little bit larger. All right, so here we go. You got Justin Herbert in the gun, and let's see, there was a timeout call before. No, there was a flag. So was it a flag or was it a timeout? All right, the referees are going to talk about it for a second. All right, so looked like they're going to give him a timeout. Guess he got it in time. So, you got a 2nd and 11. Don't want a 2nd and 16. So a timeout was called. So 59 seconds left on the clock. Gives you an opportunity to be able to, figure out the right play. Andy Reid doesn't look happy. He felt like it should have been a flag, but let's see what the referees are saying. Okay, so it was a delay of game, so they didn't give him the timeout. All right. All right, so the penalty was indeed declined. All right, so here we go. Justin Herbert looking. Tried to scramble up in the pocket, tried to shovel past it, and very dangerous pass, almost picked off by Hicks there. So Justin Herbert trying to make something out of nothing there, but that was a very dangerous pass. Tried to get it to Ladd McConkey, which Ladd McConkey wasn't there. And yes. So now you flip the ball forward, and now you stop the clock. So I'm assuming, like, on this 3rd down play, you're probably just going to run the football. All right, you don't have any, they don't have any timeouts. So your best bet is for you to be able to run this ball, maybe get it down. Yep, get it down to maybe about 14 seconds on the clock. And, man, that was not very smart right there. Omarion Hampton steps out of bounds. So instead of you draining the clock, what a rookie move right there by a rookie. All you have to stay in bounds. You have to stay in bounds. So you run out of bounds, you stop the clock, and now this gives Patrick Mahomes. Now you give Patrick Mahomes an opportunity to get the ball back. Yeah, I mean, you gotta be smarter than that, Omarion Hampton. Yep. And, man. All right, so you got 45 seconds left on the clock, and giving Patrick Mahomes 45 seconds, and Jim Harbaugh knows it. He knows it. He's extremely frustrated. And that's one of those situations where, man, a rookie doing rookie things. Let's see. Knowing the Saints' luck, we're going to get called for a pick play. On that play, TJ, it took about 3.5 seconds for it to develop. Our line will have to give Rattler the time to hit, 15-yard routes like that. Got to have a check down crosser with Cooks. I mean, yeah, they're going to have that. But if you look at that play, they did. Like, it was the running back. The running back was available to him on the left-hand side for the check down. And like I said, you had your wide receivers. So that was a 11 personnel right there. So you had your 3 wide receivers that end up, like, two of your 3 wide receivers end up going out, creating a distraction as well with the tight end in the middle of the field in order for it to create space. And then you have your wide receiver that kind of runs a little delayed route, and it basically just kind of frees him up, especially in that type of coverage that the Kansas City Chiefs were running. So very, very soft coverage they were running. So when you're running that zone coverage that Kansas City is running, there's always that soft spot in the middle of the field. And if you can exploit that, man, you can find success all game long. Let's see. He ran out. That wasn't the smartest decision by Omarion Hampton. I mean, he's been playing well all night. Really been good in the blitz pickup. I'm very impressed by the young man, but that was not a smart move. Like, you got to stay in bounds. But I mean, he's a rookie, so I mean, first game as a professional, probably got a little nerves. So you want to, but you don't want to make mistakes like that. All right, so Patrick Mahomes has some time, doesn't have any timeouts, but if you can try to get the ball into at least field goal range for Harrison Buckner, who is one of the most accurate kickers in the game. If you can get him into field goal range, you can, get some points. All right, but this is the state of NFL and, across the different platforms, also the State of the Saints podcast. We're basically doing a watch along for the Kansas City Chiefs versus Los Angeles Chargers Week 1 game. We're just taking your questions. It can involve any NFL team. It can involve the New Orleans Saints. Of course, we talked about Chase Young's injury. The Saints will be without the defensive end, him dealing with a calf injury. All right, so here we go. Is a return, and he gets close to the 30-yard line. So this gives Patrick Mahomes an opportunity to try to get them into field goal range, or dare I say, try to score a touchdown, All right, so yeah, you got Marshawn Lynch over there talking to him, trying to get it, trying to give him some advice. All right, so here we go. Patrick Mahomes in the gun, looking, throws it, tries to sling it down the field, and that pass is caught by Thornton. They're going to have to hustle up finally after 3 attempts to try to get the ball down the field. Patrick Mahomes and Thornton finally get on the same page. All right, you got to clock that and spike it. So you spike it with about 21 seconds left, and that is the frustrating thing about this. I'm pretty sure for Jim Harbaugh, you don't want to give Patrick Mahomes any time to be able to get points. And now, at best, they can probably get at least 3 points off this. All right, so get that deep quarter route going. Thornton just right there in his hands. Like they tried to do this at least 3 times tonight. Both passes did not connect, a little bit too far, but finally they get on the same page and he's able to corral it in. All right, so you got 21 seconds left, 2nd and 10. Let's see what they can do. All right, here we go. Quick pass right there. And Jackson almost jumped in front of that for an interception. I mean, Jackson has had an incredible night. He has had an incredible night against these wide receivers. I mean, he's been all over the field, rather just tackling, pass breakups. He's definitely going to like the film so far, and especially in the first half. I mean, the game is it's a long way to go. But in the first half, I mean, he has to be extremely impressed at his performance when he goes back and watch the film. So we got 3rd and 10. All right, so at best, I mean, you can try to find a way to get a field goal out this deal. All right, 3rd and 10. All right, and we got a flag, so it looks like a false start penalty. Yep, so that's definitely not what you want right there, going backwards. So, and Juwan Taylor, a guy who has been, in the news quite often, for his offensive line play, for his questionable set, being able to brace himself for and being off the line of scrimmage, and nobody saying absolutely nothing about it. But let's see, 3rd and 15. So. All right, and again, and this time is on the left tackle. So right now, the Kansas City Chiefs are moving backwards. So 10 yards. Mm-mm. Do you plan on doing more watch alongs through the season? Yeah, I plan on doing. I plan on doing this quite often, like throughout the season. All right, so I mean, this is self-inflicted wounds right here, man. 3rd and 21. Mahomes in a gun, looking. That pass is caught to Noah Gray, and Noah Gray gets out of bounds. But why no? Wait a minute, it's 4th down. 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Snap, placement, kick on the way is up, and he gets it through. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable Unbelievable clock management right there, man. Unbelievable right there. Gets the pass off to Noah Gray, gets out of bounds, throws it right back in bounds, gives it back to the referee. They're able to clock it. Oh my goodness, man. Good stuff right there. That was good. That was good clock management right there. Good clock management. I thought he got out of bounds, but it turns out because he was pushed backwards, the clock continues to roll. So I mean, the story of the first half so far has been that Amarian Hampton going out of bounds. That was huge. Like this doesn't exist. This doesn't happen. More than likely, if Amarian Hampton doesn't run out of bounds. That's why it's not. It's just not about X's and O's. Sometimes it's about making smart decisions in real time. But this is it, man. I mean, like you run out of bounds. Like you should have just slid right before then. But I get it. Young man, extremely like probably nervous, first game of his career. I mean, that's good stuff right there. You have to practice that. You got to practice that type of stuff. It's awesome to see special teams be special. Yeah, I mean that was great clock management right there. That was great clock management by Andy Reid. But what would you expect? From one of the best coaches of the modern era. So yeah, that was just good. That was good clock management right there. All right, so what y'all think about this game so far? I don't know. I didn't ask the question who I feel you thought was going to win the game. So who do you all have? You think Chiefs or the Chargers are going to win right now? I mean, I think it's pretty close, still close enough for the Chiefs to be able to find a way back to possibly being victorious in this game. Outside of that first possession by the Chargers, I mean, they've been pretty stale. They haven't been they've been able to move the ball, but not trying to get any touchdowns. Mostly just field goals here. So the Kansas City Chiefs are more of a bend but don't break type defense right now. You got the Chargers kind of doing things similarly, to Kansas City, bending and not breaking, getting down to the red zone, buckling down instead of them coming away with touchdowns, coming away with field goals. So who y'all think are going to win? I think I already read that. Let's see. Call me crazy, but I think some triple and speed options can really help us with all the speed players we have. What do you think? I mean, that wouldn't hurt. That wouldn't hurt, but I don't know, man. I think that the Saints are going to have to like stay ahead of the change, and when you have like these different options like that, I mean, I don't know. I just think that you want to push the ball down the field. You want tempo. You want the defense to have a difficult time to maybe create those substitutions. You want to be able to like keep your foot on the gas. And I just think that's probably going to help the New Orleans Saints if they're going to find success this season. They're going to have to like push that ball down the field. Doc, they just cold right now. The Saints wide receiver group is loaded with speed. Yeah, they got some speedy receivers. I mean, really fast receiver. And I find it weird, man. You got two NFC teams that are gonna be playing on CBS. That goes to show you, like they ain't even like okay, y'all can have this Saints Cardinals game, right? Hey, most NFC games are played on Fox. The Saints gonna play on CBS. Two NFC teams playing on CBS. But hey, I mean, I digress. Let's they kind of change the rules or something. I'm not worried about Chase TJ, his next man up, Granderson, Cam, and potential for Dale Diggs have to step up. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to get it done. They're gonna have to stop the run. And they're gonna have to stop Kyler Murray, because he can be able to move around the pocket. That little guy is fast, man. That man is fast. Like he's small, but them legs be moving quick. So they're gonna have to like catch him, and that's very difficult for a much larger gentleman to be kind of bend down to catch a 5'10", 5'11" quarterback. I just heard we got the cheapest ticket in the NFL opener, something like $28. Well, look, that means that people can go to the football game, and that's what happens when your squad is not successful. You got to find ways to get people to want to come out to the game. Like, you can't be charging an arm and a leg and 2 backs and a neck for some tickets and your team looking, very suspect. So yeah, if you want to make a profit, start winning some football games. Then you can charge whatever you want. Who that from South Philly, TJ? Eugene, appreciate you for being here, man. Appreciate you for being here. He gonna throw us a pick or two. Look, I'm looking for the New Orleans Saints defense to be opportunistic, to turn the ball over. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like them to get the ball back to the offense. That I don't expect for the Saints defense to be spectacular. Like, oh, they sacking a quarterback all over. Like, I don't see that. I see the best way for the New Orleans Saints to be able to like generate like any type of defensive momentum. It had to come with turnovers. That's the reason I feel like they wanted guys like Julian Blackmon. That's the reason why you have a guy like Sanker, like you have Quincy Riley. Like these players are notorious for not only being good in coverage but being ball hawks as well. So if you can get some of these guys to be able to get some interceptions and get the ball back to the offense, is a plus. Until you try to figure out, over the next couple of years, like getting those premier pass rushers and being able to get those sideline to sideline linebackers. Right now, to me, it's basically like you're just establishing some levels of momentum, or establishing an identity for yourself. So that's what I think that they are doing right now. Let's see. As for the ticket prices, you get what you pay for. The quality of the current on-field product dictates a bad seller's market. Yeah, I agree. And let me take a look here. Let me take a look. New Orleans Saints. I'm gonna go ahead and look at the ticket prices. All right, so let's go to Ticketmaster here. Because SeatGeek people like, they just selling their own tickets. All right, so and Arizona Cardinal. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and share this go ahead and share this so people can see it. All right, so you got a halftime show? All right, so y'all can see what I see. All right, so you got tickets in section 600 for $24.99. So you can actually go watch the Saints for $25. All right, so let me see. If you up in here in the cheap seats, okay, these are $79. But you got some in section. You can get 2 tickets. You and your boo, $49.98. You can go watch the Saints game and cheer your little hearts out. All right, so I don't know who wants to do that or not, but at the end of the day, yeah, you can go out there and you can get yourself some Saints tickets for $24. I also heard they was like giving away for like people who like, families that probably couldn't afford to go to the game and stuff like that. They letting them come to the game for free. So I mean, that's pretty cool. All right, so you can get to section 263 for $327. So let me see if you. All right, so let's go to the home side. All right, let's see if you're a big spender. All right, let's see if you wanted to sit right behind the bench here. $523. So you can sit there and talk, and talk noise about the team. You spend $500. You spend $500. Like, you can go out there and talk some noise to them. Speaking of which, man, speaking of talking, did y'all see Derek Carr? He was a part of the pregame show. Him and Brandon Marshall and Tyrann Mathieu. I'm like, man, so I was like, man, you got 2 retired New Orleans Saints and one guy, 3 guys who played for the New Orleans Saints. You count Brandon Marshall. I mean, he ain't play on the field. He was a part of the practice squad, but you had 3 guys who played for the Saints, talking AFC West, which all of them played in the AFC West. But yeah, I seen Derek Carr up there talking football. And it was actually about Steve Spagnuolo talking about, yeah, you had to go up against Steve. Yeah, Steve used to put work on that boy. Let's see. TJ spies on the end of the bench next to the Gatorade cooler, going 55 a pop. Well, if they don't win no football games and if they start looking like how some people may think they are, they probably gonna be charged that. Shoot, for $100, you might be able to play left tackle. Shoot, might be able to play left guard or something. Well, you don't need to play left tackle. I think the Saints good with that. Left guard or something like that. Probably for $100, you can play left guard. Hey, y'all in here picking the Chiefs. Where in this game do you see them getting any real momentum? Chargers are smothering them badly. I don't look, but this is a divisional matchup, so both of these teams know each other. Like, so to say that, you know, that there's not a chance that they won't be able to come back, and yeah, they are smothering them, but we know that Andy Reid is one of the best when it comes to halftime adjustments. And you know, it's not out of realm of possibility. We've seen this type of movie before. So to think that there's no chance for the Kansas City Chiefs to win this football game is you know, I don't think that you want to go that route. I mean, the Chargers do look good, you know, as far as them being able to get the ball down the field, but they're not coming away with touchdowns, they're coming away with field goals. TJ, I think that 3-4 can help with that Murray in the running in the pocket and potentially keep Kyler up, forcing decisions, creating turnovers. Yeah, well, we got to see, man. We got to see. I got to see the Saints stop the run. All right. You know, I got to see it. I got to see how this 3-4 going to look. I got to see if they got them dogs that going to be able to stop the run. Because I seen Trey Lance in a little sneak peek, and he was able to run all up through this thing. So I need to see it. Fair response, brother. Yeah, I mean, look, I like the Chargers. I like Justin Herbert. I hope that he's able to break through and, you know, live up to that potential that he has, you know. And I think that Jim Harbaugh is the right coach to get him, you know, where he needs to be. Because, you know, he likes to run the football. I'm talking Jim Harbaugh. And, you know, he likes to set up the play action, which I feel like is very beneficial to Justin Herbert, pushing that ball down the field. And defensively, man, they got a lot of young studs out there. I mean, these guys are flying around the field. You don't really know too many guys on this defense like that. Like, if you don't just follow football, you don't really know too many of their defensive players. But they're extremely active. They're extremely busy, and they fly around the field. And, you know, if you have a defense like that, you can win a lot of football games. If you keep putting Mahomes on his back, get him frustrated. They haven't really been putting him on his back, to be honest with you. It has been great coverage in the secondary. Like, the secondary of the Chargers has been, like, remarkable. Like, it hasn't been the fact that their front four has been able to get home. It's the fact that, you know, the secondary has been able to hold up against their wide receivers. So that's very troubling, if you ask me. You know, the fact that they are able to be able to you know, lock down your secondary like that. I mean, excuse me, lock down your receivers. The secondary is able to do that. So Patrick Mahomes really doesn't have anywhere to go. And Travis Kelce has been a non-factor. He only had like one catch the entire game. TJ, I hate when my Saints, LSU Tigers, and SU Jags control both lines and outproduce an opponent, but are only up a few at the half. I always get a sinking feeling when a team hangs around like that. Yeah, I mean, you can't let a team hang around, especially like when you're dominating statistically, like you're alluding to, Eugene. You gotta put the foot on the gas and get it done. I think a lot of teams like end up shooting themselves in the foot by not capitalizing on momentum and not capitalizing on drives, especially like when a defense may give you the ball back, or maybe like you're pushing the ball, defense is putting together a star-studded performance, and you can't do anything about it. So, you know, it's called complementary football. Like, I know it becomes like so much of a, you know, if we say it so much, it becomes a little bit of a cliche, but it's reality. Like, you got to be able to play complementary football. If the defense is getting you the ball back off a turnover. Like, you got to cash it in. Can't just keep cashing it in with field goals. And I get it. Those other guys on the other side of football get paid a lot of money to stop you as well. But you got to be able to take advantage of short fields and not just come away with field goals, because that's what keep teams around. And it also helps them build momentum because they're like, man, they can't score. 3-4 is definitely harder on running quarterbacks. Linebackers are everywhere. Yeah, I mean, you got speed at the linebacker position, be able to fly around. And, the running quarterbacks can't be as disruptive. But, I think that, when it comes to the New Orleans Saints, I want to see what this 3-4 defense is going to look like. So let's see what they can actually do. Hopefully they can probably, finally be able to neutralize a mobile quarterback, because they have not been able to do that under Dennis Allen defense. Although they've had some of the best defenses under Dennis Allen, not last year, but over the years they had a really good defense. But when they go up against a mobile quarterback, probably because they play so much man coverage, and the fact that when you play so much man coverage, you got your corners, you got your safeties like going backwards, and if you don't have a spy on that mobile quarterback, man, he's gonna eat you alive. And if you don't have that, if that spy ain't getting home and getting to that quarterback, I mean, he's gonna make you pay. We watched that last night versus the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cowboys game. Like, the Cowboys didn't have an answer for Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was just able to run out the pocket, scramble for 10, 12, 15 yards. I mean, and they were like chunk runs too. I mean, and man, it's deflating. It's deflating when you have a quarterback and you're playing a perfect defense, and then all of a sudden the quarterback just runs out the pocket. Like, that's a matchup nightmare. That's a matchup nightmare right there. And also, in order for you to like have a spy on him, it takes a guy out of coverage. So if you have like a bomb wide receiver, man, that can get separation, then they're gonna eat that way too, because you got to respect the ability of the quarterback be able to scramble outside the pocket. One potential bright spot for the Saints offense, Kellen Moore. He seems like the type of offensive mind who can make a meal out of scraps. I expect Rattler to run quite a bit on design quarterback runs. Yeah, you got to get him outside the pocket. You got to get him on the move. You got to allow him to have some rollout plays. Like, you got to be able to do those things in order to make him comfortable, where you just don't feel overwhelmed. I think you just got to utilize his strengths. And I think that's what Kellen Moore plans on doing, utilizing the strengths of the players that he already has. So there's that. All right, so we got the start of the second half. We know the Chiefs get the ball back to the start of the second half. So let's see if they can actually do something. Wait a minute. So the Chiefs coming out late? All right, so I don't know. Chargers came out. Chiefs came out. And Andy Reid had him in the locker room. He must have gave them one of them fiery speeches. As an Andy, I don't understand that, man. I mean, I assume they were supposed to be out the locker room. You had the Chargers on the bench. They warmed up. Chiefs still in the locker room. They like, okay, y'all gonna wait for us. And then on top of that, like when they got out there, I'm pretty sure, Andy Reid was told, okay, we waiting on y'all. And he still like stood there and for about 5 more seconds. Yeah, so okay, so my mistake. I said that the Chiefs were gonna get the ball back. Actually, the Chargers are getting the ball back. I forgot the Kansas City Chiefs had the 3-and-out. It was just happened so quickly. I forgot. All right, so here we go. We got the return, and it goes nowhere. It's about the 28-yard line right there. So, all right, so let's see if Justin Herbert and this Charger offense can be able to capitalize and be able to pull away here. They can get a touchdown. I mean, it really puts a lot of pressure on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs to be able to try to make something happen. But I think the loss of Xavier Worthy has been huge for the Chiefs. I think they probably had a game plan that featured him quite early and often in this game. Well, here we go. 1st and 10 for the Chargers. You got Justin Herbert in a gun. And here's the handoff to Omarion Hampton. He tries to lean forward, and he might have got a yard on the play, but if that. So they're gonna bring up about 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 9. And I'm still wondering, like, why haven't we really seen Najee Harris? We haven't seen Najee Harris as much in this game. So I don't know if this might be one of those situations where you maybe utilize him late in the game, try to wear him down, or maybe he just wasn't around as much, so they're not utilizing him as often. 2nd and 9. All right, so they bring the blitz, and they don't get home, but it still is disruptive enough in order for Justin Herbert to not be able to connect with Ladd McConkey. This is 3rd and 9. So if the Kansas City Chiefs can get the Chargers off the field quickly, then this can be a win for them, man. And you can find a way to maybe get into the end zone and try to tie this game up. All right, so this defense is going to have to step up. And then on top of that, you also have rain out there as well. So rain can be a factor in this game. All right, 3rd and 9. Justin Herbert in the gun. Ladd McConkey goes out, throws, and he tries to get it to Johnston, and is incomplete, but you do have a flag on the play here. Wonder what the flag is about. Let's see who the flag is on. So holding on offense, and that is penalty is declined. So that's going to bring up 4th down. So really good coverage right there by Trey McDuffie. He tries to go to Quentin Johnston on a 50-50 ball there. You know, him being 6'5", but McDuffie with the really good coverage. So that's a 3-and-out for the Chargers. And now the Kansas City Chiefs get the ball back. Yeah, I mean, you neutralizing Ladd McConkey is huge. You know, I think that's the only wide receiver I think that the Kansas City Chiefs are really concerned about. You know, you got Keenan Allen, more of a possession guy at this point. All right, so, oh, man, really good special teams coverage right there. Stops him before he even get a chance to go anywhere. So, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs offense trying to tie this game up. Momentum is changing. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think the Kansas City Chiefs game plan starting this game was not a good one. It just seemed like they were just trying to push the ball down the field and trying to replicate the greatest show on turf or something. Like, what the heck are you doing? Like, I think when they started to settle down and, you know, they just started to kind of matriculate the ball down the field methodically, slowly, you know, and not trying to press the issue, I think that's when they started to find success offensively. Like sometimes, man, you just got to take what the defense gives you. I think they tried to come out there, oh, man, look at my new shiny new toy, Tyquan Thornton. You know, like, come on, man. Like, I like Thornton. I think he's a speedy guy. Of course, he ran a 4.2 at the combine coming out of Baylor. But at the end of the day, like, you don't have to keep on throwing the ball down the field. Like, that don't help you stay ahead of the chains. Like, you want to be able to be like 2nd and 5, 3rd and 2, you know? If you throwing on 1st and 2nd down and now it's 3rd and 10, now you got to get 10 yards on the 3rd down. Like, you're not staying ahead of the chains. If the Chiefs win, everybody going to circle back to that moment when that rookie stepped out. Well, I mean, I think it had a lot to do with, you know, them getting points in the first half, but I don't feel like it should be indicative of of the entire game. Like it tells a part of the story, but it doesn't to me, I don't feel like you should be blaming Omarion Hampton if the Chiefs end up coming back. I mean, Omarion Hampton don't have anything to do with this 3-and-out that you just had. So to give the Chiefs the ball back. But I agree. You try to make narratives in these games. What went wrong, what happened, how did the bottom fall out? But I mean, for those 3 points, yes. For the entirety of this game, I mean, you got two quarters left, so it shouldn't play a huge role in if the Chiefs end up winning the football game. But I agree, they're gonna probably make it away like it is. I mean, that's a nice stadium, though, man. I mean, that grass that they have, which it just seems to me like the NFL needs to follow suit. I feel like they need to follow suit, and every NFL team have grass, but all right, so here we go. Play action. Goes around the side. You got Patrick Mahomes. He's going to scramble, and he goes around there. And he takes a big hit. And he takes a big hit, so but he's still able to get a first down. And I bet they be looking forward to them runs, man. Like when a quarterback becomes like a runner, and that quarterback like good like Mahomes, like you ready to hit him. Like this is my chance. All right, so 1st and 10. He gets a 10-yard scramble. He's in the gun. You got Pachenko in the backfield with him. He hands the ball off on a delayed handoff, and he goes absolutely nowhere. I mean, he gets absolutely smashed. I mean, Henley has been having a monster game, man. And now you have another penalty. All right, so Juwan Taylor yet again, a usual suspect when it comes to the holding penalties. Yep, I mean, got lost on the move, but Henley has been having a monster game, man. He had that sack on Patrick Mahomes, and then he was extremely disruptive in the backfield. I mean, so here we go. We got 1st and 20. So a lot of self-inflicted wounds here for the Kansas City Chiefs. Penalties is the name of the game. All right, we got a rollout. We got Patrick Mahomes rolling to the left. Tries to throw it, sidearms it to Juju Smith-Schuster, and gets the majority of the yards back plus more. So he gets about 15 yards on that play right there. So that's 2nd down. So really good play design. So you had Patrick Mahomes running, and he just sidearm it. And he basically get the linebacker's eyes looking in a different direction, and he's able to just kind of ease that ball into Juju Smith-Schuster right there. All right, so here we go. We got a 2nd and 6. So got the majority of your penalty yards back. Makes it manageable. Pacheco goes in between the tackles. He gets about 2 or 3 yards on the play. So it's going to set up about a 3rd and 3. So you got like a 3rd down. So it seems to me in some of these 3rd down situations, they're utilizing Kareem Hunt for blitz pickup. Maybe he's a more of a, better blocker and being able to pick up the blitz than Pachenko is. And also, he's not too shabby in the passing game either. So here we go. 3rd and 2, trying to see if they can actually convert this. All right. You got Thornton in motion. All right, here's the snap here on the gun. And that pass is caught. That's to Hollywood Brown, and he gets the 1st down. So on a 1st and 20, seems like their back was against the wall. You got the Kansas City Chiefs converting for a 1st down. So that is huge right there. So the momentum goes right back into their favor. Big pass from Patrick Mahomes to Juju Smith-Schuster, and now on a 3rd and 2, you connect with Hollywood Brown. He's going to have to be huge, man, because I expect for Xavier Worthy to miss a few games if he has a separated shoulder or broken collarbone. All right, so Juju Smith-Schuster working in a slot right there. So the connection between Mahomes and Schuster seems like it's starting to build, and Schuster is basically just playing, the inside. So he's that big body receiver that they need in order for them to gain some yardage. And you look at Justin Herbert, he understands, man, what Patrick Mahomes can bring to the table, and he wants that ball back. All right, so it's 2nd and 4 for Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. They're beyond the 50-yard line, trying to get some more points on the board. All right, so here we go. We got Taylor again with the false start. I mean, what a rough night for Jawaan Taylor, man. I mean, what a rough night. I mean, you seen that coming a mile away. I mean, those defensive players are really in his head, man. He has got. Yeah, I mean, that's maybe his third penalty tonight. All right, so here we go. On a 2nd and 9. All right, Mahomes in the gun, looking. Ball's batted, and that pass is incomplete. I don't know exactly who we throwing to on that one, but really good play by the defensive front of the Los Angeles Chargers there. I mean, I don't. I wish I could tell you who he was throwing that ball to. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who he was throwing that to. I don't know if he was trying to throw it to the ground because maybe something wasn't there. And Travis Kelce is in his ear, man, which he should be because these penalties are absolutely ridiculous. All right, he steps up in the pocket. Mahomes moving, scrambles, gets the first down, a whole lot more, and he's able to get out of bounds and runs over Dante Jackson, lowers the shoulder. Okay, Mahomes, I see you, man. And Patrick Mahomes, I mean, showing that he ain't no punk out here in these streets, scrambling. And all of a sudden, this is my chance, and he just absolutely just runs Dante Jackson clean over. Kapayow. Yeah, that's not your shining moment right there, man. You can't get ran over by a quarterback, even though he probably outweighs you about 20 pounds. All right, so here we go. Fast pass right there, wide receiver screen. Tried to get a Hollywood Brown. Couldn't get the block set up, but he did get about a yard on the play. Man. Makes you wonder if he had any preseason reps. Let's see. TJ, was that? Are you talking about Xavier Worthy? If we're talking about Xavier Worthy, I think he has. How do you feel about Chase Young being out? I think it's a crushing blow, young Nola, but I think the Saints can be able to weather the storm. I think they can. All right, so we got Pacheco in motion. This pass, he throws to Hollywood Brown. He jumps back. I don't agree with that. I never agree with guys jumping back to try to gain momentum, try to run forward. Like, just you get the ball, man, go up the field. You jump back, you probably have a first down, you jump back and you lose it. Right back to square one. But anyway, he's able to get a few yards on the play. So we're just about a third, maybe like a 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 1 here. All right, so Patrick Mahomes has been cooking after that 2 for 7 start for 16 yards. Now he's 15 to 20 since then. All right, so here's the handoff right here. You give it off to Kareem Hunt, and he gets enough for a first down. And we have a flag on the play, and that's going to be a personal foul penalty on the big man, number 90. I mean, he did it right in front of the referee's face, so you know they're going to call that every single time. I mean, wasn't Tart's finest moment right there. I don't know what the heck he was thinking. Taylor Tart was, I don't know. I don't know what the heck Taylor Tart was thinking. All right, we get it. We push it off. And, all right, Travis Kelce pushing, and he just hits him in the face. And that's an ejection right there. That should be automatic ejection. You can't hit a player in the face. All right, so it's a personal foul penalty, but at least he gets to play in the game. I mean, hitting another player in the face like that, more than likely would cause for an ejection. But luckily for Taylor Tart, he's able to still play. And even though Travis Kelce hasn't been very active in this game offensively, I mean, he's still able to help the Saints. The Chargers move the ball and get 15 yards despite the fact that he hasn't really been active in this game from the tight end position. All right, so here we go. 1st and 10 for the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, so here's a fake handoff right there. He goes around the side, he runs, and Patrick Mahomes gets into the end zone for the touchdown. So Patrick Mahomes on this drive, man, using his legs to extend drives, even lowered the shoulder. And all the momentum for the Chargers that they collected throughout the course of this game seems like it's starting to shift towards the way of the Kansas City Chiefs. You got a little pump fake going. Khalil Mack, he couldn't get him, tried to get him around the side. That little pump fake just froze Khalil Mack enough for Patrick Mahomes to get around the side, and he just dives into the end zone for a touchdown. So Harrison Buckner right here with this field goal can tie the game. It's up, and it's no good. He missed it. So after all that, the Chiefs are still within one. Wow. Harrison Buckner missing an extra point. But still, I mean, what an incredible play by Patrick Mahomes, man. Using his leg on his drive. Showing that, I can throw the ball too, but I can also run and I can hurt you with my legs as well. I shouldn't be cursing here, but that was a good damn hit, no lie. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes lowered that boom on that boy. If you let Mahomes, little boy, you deserve to be benched. Well, Dante Jackson been playing pretty good tonight. I ain't gonna look. He been playing pretty good. I mean, from the corner position, I think he's been pretty active. Dante Jackson, 3 tackles, 3 solo, has 1 pass deflection. But no, you can't let no quarterback just Mike Allstott you in front of the entire world like that. Why nobody take the chance to lay Mahomes out? That's why he do a lot of dancing. Well, I mean, you don't want to knock him out because we already know what's gonna happen to you. More than likely you're gonna get suspended. She kicked off a team. Like, they ain't playing around with Mahomes, man. Mahomes is the face of the NFL. So you do something to him, good luck. Good luck with that. What's that other rusher we got out of the draft, TJ? What rusher we talking about? Talking about Fidel Diggs? We talking about Fidel Diggs, the 7th round pick? That's the only one I can think of that would serve as like a rusher. I mean, you got Vernon Broughton, but he's more of an interior guy, more of like a nose tackle. So I guess it would be Fidel Diggs. Ain't no such thing as letting them hang around. We know the NFL is rigged. Man. I mean, some of the things that happen make you think sometimes. Herbert needs to calm down and go score now. Yeah, I think they had a standstill. I mean, since that first drive where they just basically just went right down the field, Kansas City kind of got caught off guard. I mean, they kind of like, dialed in a little bit more, and able to get pressure on Justin Herbert. The secondary seems like, they're communicating better, and no real big plays since then. And right now, I think the second half adjustments involve them trying to neutralize Larry McConkey. I know this may sound crazy to some people, but Keenan Allen at this stage, if he goes out there and beats you, you can kind of live with that. And Quentin Johnston, I don't think they look at him as a big concern, even though he had that big, big time catch at the beginning of the game for about 30, 40 yards. All right, so he tries to run it out, man, but he doesn't get anything. He probably at the 27-yard line there. So you got Justin Herbert trying to come out. I mean, the good news is you still got a 1-point lead here. All right, so it was okay. So let me get this straight. So you can actually punch a guy in the face as long as you do it like this instead of like this. You can stay in the game. All right, so we have a reverse right here. They finally get the ball to Davis, who's a speedy guy, but he goes absolutely nowhere. So a little trickeration right there. I don't necessarily agree with that, especially the way the game is going. But I digress. So I'm just wondering, man, like, y'all remember when Cam Jordan hit the defender for the Chiefs and he got ejected from the game? Like, did he punch the dude in the face? I'm just wondering. I don't know if y'all remember that when but I mean, the good thing about it is, I mean, Cam Jordan was able to go see the birth of his child because his wife was in labor at the same time. But I was joking with Cam Jordan about that this morning on X. I said, man, it wasn't I asked him, oh man, that's a sack right there. So good safety blitz right there. But anyway, now I was joking with Cam. I asked him, I said, you can be honest with us now. I said some years passed. I said, did you do that on purpose so you could go to the hospital? And he was laughing. So, but yeah, at the end of the day, man, it's you know, so I guess as long as you do like this, you good. All right, so he got a sack. I mean, I said the momentum is starting to shift away of the Chiefs, and now Steve Spagnuolo is definitely in his bag right now. So here we go, 3rd and 15. So what are you doing? All right, and that pass is caught by Quentin Johnston, who stiff arms, and he's short. Yeah, he's short, man. Very talented. I will say this, but very talented players on the Chargers team, but not many smart decisions. You turn up the field. Like, what are you doing? Like, you 6'5", about 220. Turn up the field. Like, even your momentum from that. I don't know, man. I'm just confused. You 6'5", 220. Your momentum, and you lean forward. All right, so here we go. Here's the handoff right here. Marion Hampton. And he fights for it. He fights, he scratches, he claws, he get that first down. So really good second effort. Really good second effort there by Marion Hampton to get that first down. They needed that. And now you got an injured Chief on the ground. That's really good second effort right there. He got behind the left tackle there, but you have an injury. So Tranquil, after that big time sack, ends up getting injured on the play. He can fall for it. I don't understand it, man. Like these players for the Chargers, like Quinn Johnston, Marion Hampton, very talented players, man. But it's not just about talent, man. Sometimes you gotta just be you gotta be smart with it. You know, like you gotta make smart decisions. Like that play where he ran out of bounds of Marion Hampton, and now like you stiff arm. I'm talking Quentin Johnston. You stiff arm a guy. You all you have to do is just lean forward. You got the first down. Like what the heck are you doing? Instead, you jump back, and now it's a 4th and 1. Now you convert, but I'm just saying that's unnecessary. Gregory, TJ, good game tonight. Yeah, it is a good game tonight. I mean, the game last night, Cowboys and Eagles, that was a good game. That was a good game. I mean, not a good game for CeeDee Lamb. I mean, I don't know what was up with him. We dropped about 4 passes last night. Chargers really starting out this season by charging so far, but plenty of time left. Yeah, I mean, Chargers are going to do Charger things, right? Shoot themselves in the foot, self-inflicted wounds. That's what I say, man. It's not just about being a talented football player. You got to be a smart football player too, man. You got to be smart with it. You got to make smart decisions. I get it. Like when live bullets are being fired at you, like it's kind of hard for you to be able to process that. But at the end of the day, like you got to know when to get down. You got to understand clock management. You got to understand where the chains are. Like you got to understand those things. Got to be situational, sound in the NFL game, or 50-50. Yeah. Okay, Cheeks turning back into the Chiefs. Yeah, man. I mean, as long as you got number 15 on the other side, man, you better keep on pushing. You better keep your foot on the gas. And this long break is not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Like, oh, man, I always say, man, 200-pound guys, that's 400 pounds of pressure on you. A 300-pound or a 200-pound guy, and we got and is that on Mekhi Becton? Yeah, it's on Mekhi Becton on the false start. So, yeah, Drew Tranquil. I mean, that was a really good play by the linebacker. He had 94 tackles last season, 2 sacks. Sent them on a blitz. Yeah, I mean that's a tough break, man. Like there's always like the rough, when things like that happen, when somebody roll up on your leg. All right, so here we go. Justin Herbert. All right, gets around the side. He scrambles. He runs. He tries to get around the side. But he's tackled. All right, so this is gonna bring up second down. All right, Kalafkas, tried to go around the side. He almost gets him. But Justin Herbert is able to sense the pressure and step up in the pocket and runs and scrambles and gets a few yards on the play. So, I mean, really smart play bomb. You can say staying ahead of the change, getting any yards that you can. Got Ladd McConkey in motion. Justin Herbert in a gun on a 2nd and 8. All right, so got Hampton moving around. All right, so here we go. Throws it. That pass is complete. That's to Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen breaks free, and he gets enough for a first down. So Keenan Allen, in spots, making plays. I said at this stage of his career, not the Keenan Allen that we know of old, but still effective, still able to get the ball, still able to get down the field. I mean, just quick out route right there. All right, so we got Keenan Allen in motion, Justin Herbert under center on a 1st and 10. All right, so here we go. All right, play action, looking. And this time he throws the ball down the field, and that pass is caught to Ladd McConkey. So that's another first down. So now we see Justin Herbert and the Chargers moving the ball down the field. Man, what a good play right there. You got Quentin Johnston. You got Quentin Johnston basically just taking the defenders down up the field and just sent like that. Man, they have run that play at least 2 or 3 times tonight. All right, you got Najee Harris right there fighting for extra yards. Like I said, hasn't really been active in this game, but the times that he has been in the game, it's been effective. And this is probably the time where you want to see Najee Harris. This is the time where you want to see him. Especially like in these late quarters, a big 230-pound running back just out there running the football. All right, so here we go. Conklin in motion here. You got Justin Herbert under center on the 2nd and 5. Here's the handoff to Hampton. Hampton runs up the field, and he gets enough for a first down. All right, so you get about three conversions on this drive, man. You got one from Hampton. You got one from McConkey. Then you got one from Keenan Allen as well. So right now, like I said, this is a very methodical drive by the Chargers. Do I think Justin Herbert will ever win a Super Bowl? I think he had the talent to do it. Only time will tell. Herbert under center. He hands the ball off this time to Hampton again. Hampton cuts, and he tries to fight, and he gets about 5 or 6 yards on the play. So right now, Jim Harbaugh is doing Jim Harbaugh things, which is try to wear down the defense, going into the 4th quarter, phone boot type game, neck and neck. These guys don't want to be hitting these running backs late in the game like this, man. Guys are sore, bruised up. A lot of plays have been ran. And also, this is going to be a great opportunity for a possible play action pass because right now the defense is teetering. So see if they'll get like a play action pass going right now. All right, play action, throwing down the field, and that pass is, and that is incomplete. Well, that was a really good time to call that play action pass, man. Really good play. Your running backs were getting 4 or 5 yards a clip. All right, so you're running this crossing route, and goes across the field. I mean, you got to catch that. You got to catch that, Quentin Johnston. Nah, you got you got to catch that, man. All right, so hopefully nothing but cramps right there. Man, Quentin Johnston, I mean, the talent that this guy has, but man, he's just hot and cold when it comes to the catching, man. You got to be able to catch that. I mean, that separate the good from the great. I don't think he's a great receiver or anything like that, but man, you're a receiver in the National Football League, a first round pick. You got to be able to catch that. Chargers been like the Falcons of the West Coast historically, just with better looking units. Hey TJ, Chargers too inconsistent for my taste. I like watching them play though. I like watching them play. Yeah, I didn't watch the game yesterday. Heard it was good though. Can't wait for Sunday, TJ. I just want to see the team play hard, play for each other, and get the W. Yeah, I think we all want that, man. New Orleans Saints, baby, still don't like Mickey Loomis, silly old interview. Chargers got this tonight, not by much though. Well, look, I think them running the football, they've been extremely effective, but they got to be able to come in. They got to be able to cash this in with a touchdown and not field goals. TJ, do you think I already read that? Possible with Harbaugh. I agree, man. Jim Harbaugh is a really good coach. Good drive and eating clock. Yeah, it's a good drive, Steve. Like I said, I look, that should have been a touchdown. The play action was there. The defense was teetering of the Kansas City Chiefs, because you're running the football with Najee Harris, you're running the football with Amarian Hampton. And man, Quentin Johnston just got to come up with that catch, man. You got to come up with the catch. Ball went right through his hand. Chargers playing like my Steelers used to play, running control the game with tough defense. TJ, my man, you ready for Sunday? Yeah, absolutely. Look, I'm ready for football. Period. That's why we're doing this watch along, like checking out some of these teams, and also, man, this is also showing you that if you watch, like your respected team, whether it's the Saints, whether it's some other NFL team that's playing on Sunday, you see that both of these teams or all of these teams have been a little inconsistent. Rather it's the holding penalties, rather it's the miscommunications when it comes to some of these offensive plays. Like that's going to happen early in the season. You're going to have some miscommunications and some mistakes. You just don't want to have too many of them. 3rd and 3 for the Chargers. Justin Herbert in a gun. All right, so looks like they're going to try to send a blitz. I don't believe it though. Yeah, I don't. All right, so here we go. We try to throw it up and wide open. Keenan Allen for the touchdown. So Keenan Allen still making plays at 33 years old. And back where it all started for his career. After 1 year with the Chicago Bears. It don't get no easier than that. So here you go, man. You got the Chargers. That was a huge conversion right there for them to go down the field and get those 20 points. All right, you got Quentin Johnston over that smile. That should have been your touchdown, though, buddy. That should have been your touchdown, buddy. TJ, do you go for 2? No, I agree. They shouldn't have went for 2 because now the Chiefs have to go for 2, so no need for them to do it. I mean, now you're putting pressure. You're putting pressure on the Chiefs. Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff? Who is Marlon? I don't even know who that is. They be having like these content creators up there, like, man, I don't know who these young cats are. Like, oh man, oh my goodness, is Marlon who? I don't know. That's just that's just me being an old head now. I'm just excited to see football back again. I like to see big plays big. Harbaugh is the prototype of kind of old school, hard-nosed head coach Dennis Allen was promised to be. Too bad he didn't have the aura, personality, or spine for it. I wish the Saints would have got Jim Harbaugh. I guarantee you it'll be a completely different story around this time, around this time of season. Guarantee you that. But instead, they want to go with Dennis Allen, old no coaching tail, set the team back about 5 years. Then, acting like they still had a window wide open, set the team back 10 more years. Hey. I'm calling it, TJ. The Saints going 13-4, and Spencer Rattler will win regular season MVP. I'll have what he's having. I'll have what you're having, my friend. I'll have what you're having, man. I think it's been a minute since I hit this one. It's been a minute since I hit this.
Hell no, to the no. Hell to the no.
Yeah, man. I don't see that, buddy. You don't see it. I just want them to be competitive. If the Saints win 13 games, man, a lot of people are gonna be eating a whole lot of crow. Let's see. Older elite players only drop off to highly ranked rookies. Yeah, I mean, but look, when you're a disciplined route runner, you weren't really known for being fast anyway, and you're more of a possession guy, man, you can stay in the league for a long time. It's those speedy guys, the ones that flake out the league, because once that one knee injury, or they start slowing down, that one trick they have. Like, luckily for guys like Deshaun Jackson and Ted Ginn, they were able to play into their 30s because they still had that speed. They still was able to take the top off the defense. What is in his cup talking about 13? I don't know what's in that. I mean, that's Captain that's Captain Optimism right there. Like I predicted earlier, this will be a low-scoring affair of 20-12 or so. Then you said 33. Who said 33-17? Who said 33-17? Somebody said they thought this game would be 33-17. That was like real early in the show. I remember somebody saying something about, I think the score gonna be 33-17. But I was like, man, I don't know the way this game was going. But who knows? They might have a track. Yep, I got you. Chiefs will win 33. I had to get you, man. 33-17. I was like, I know I heard. Let's see. I felt so bad when Ted Ginn started losing his skills. Well, Ted Ginn, he always still had that speed, though, Josh. He still had that speed. He still had that speed, man. So it never really left him. So he still had a place. I mean, he was playing for the Saints. He was still able to take the top off the defense. Can the Saints stop Kyler Murray from running around? That's the $1 million question there, Mo. That's the $1 million question. All right, so we're back with the game. Now we got to see if Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs can go down there and try to get themselves another touchdown. Because right now, time is running out. It started the fourth quarter, got 15 minutes to get it done. Play action. Mahomes, pass tip and almost intercepted. So ball tipped at the line of scrimmage. Patrick Mahomes tried to get the ball down the field. It was tipped. So it looked like Tart was able to get that big paw up in the air. Yep. There you go. Making up for an egregious personal foul penalty, hitting Travis Kelce in the face. Man. And I want to make this very clear. That hurts like hell. Like, if you ever like rushing them pass or something and you put that hand up, that it hurts like hell. Because that ball coming out like 60, 70 miles per hour out his hand with a lot of velocity. Oh, and flips it over the head to Juju Smith-Schuster. Man, Now the question was he past the line of scrimmage? That's the $1 million question. Was he behind? I mean, if any part of his body is behind it, no. Yep. So he had his. I want to say his right foot was behind the right line of scrimmage. So, man, that's unbelievable right there. Just flips it over the top. Right, and this is a handoff to Kareem Hunt. Kareem fighting, gets nothing on the play. So, some tough yards right there. Gets about 1 or 2 yards on the play, but Patrick Mahomes doing Patrick Mahomes things. I mean, just flips the ball like over 3 defenders into the hands of Juju Smith-Schuster. All right, so here we go. Like I said, the game is never over when Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback, no matter what situation may arise. All right, so here we go. In the gun. Toss the ball to Kareem Hunt. Kareem tries to get around the side, but good tackle right there by a really good safety, Derwin James. So Derwin James makes a really big time tackle right there. So this sets up a third down. This is a big time third down. I mean, I believe this is 4 down territory regardless, but if you can convert this third down, that would be huge. You know why Justin Herbert always looked like he about to cry? Like he always looked like he extremely emotional. Anyway, Patrick Mahomes in a gun on a 3rd and 4, scrambles, gets around and just slides for the first down. So catches the Chargers sleeping in man coverage. Back turn. Yep. Finds the lanes. And he gets enough for the first down. Keep the drive alive. All right, so here we go. Wide open to Travis Kelce, and that is a touchdown. Man, that was a really good play. That was a really good play design right there. You had motion that had the defense eyes looking at number 24. And everybody paying attention to in the backfield action. Yep. And he just squeaks right by him. Man, what a good play. That is a great play design. Because everybody eyes in the backfield, that just called Travis Kelce to just kind of squeak through. All right, so we got the Chiefs going for 2 right here. Big time 2-point conversion. If they could get this. Hollywood Brown tried to shift out and would have been a completed 2-point conversion, but yet again, Tahir Tart for the second time on his drive just gets that big paw up there and just bats the ball down. Because it would have been good because Noah Gray was wide open. Really good play right there. That's the thing. 99 speed turns into 93, and speed 8 years later, still respectable. Jamal says, Jermaine, my dog, says if we can stay healthy, I can see 9 or 10 wins. Damn, fake block sold it. Yeah, man, that was a really good play design. Really good play design right there. Saints go beat Arizona 23-17. I don't know if I can see that. I mean, I don't know. If the Saints score 20 plus points, I mean, I'll be shocked. I'll be absolutely shocked if the Saints put up 23 points in this game. Arizona got some really good talented defenders, man. They can Those dudes, my goodness, man, they get after you. Do you hear me? They get after you, man. They get after you, ladies and gentlemen. So I know, a lot of people don't really pay that much attention to the Cardinals, but that team is extremely talented, man. And now they got like about 3 or 4 new defensive linemen on that team. So they didn't kind of did a re-up. So should be interesting, man. I don't see this offense scoring more than 20 points. Me neither. I don't either. They better buckle down on some defense. But if I'm wrong, I would gladly be wrong. I would gladly be wrong. Like, I don't mind being wrong. I don't mind being wrong at all. At all when it comes to the Saints. Brazil look like it should be a nice place to visit. Everybody ever been to Brazil? It look like a nice place to visit. All right, so here we go. The Chargers. Now I got to do something. But I must say this new kickoff rule just makes the field seem like even shorter though. It's like after 2 plays, it looked like they passed the 50-yard line. TJ, you going to any games this year? I'm going to a few games this year. I plan on going to some games. I was gonna try to go to this first game, but man, them airline tickets, I wasn't feeling the prices, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. Sure, I'm gonna be honest with you. I went look. Then on top of that would be like kind of like a short notice thing. So yeah, I plan on coming to some games though. I plan on coming to a few games. I'll let you all know which ones. All right, Justin Herbert. And I get back. He passes off to Marion Hampton. Marion Hampton gets about 7 yards on the play. Eugene says, TJ, I know good and doggone well Taylor Swift ain't at the game because we have seen her at least 5 shots from the Swift. Yeah, you know she ain't there. You know she ain't there. If she was there, they'd definitely be showing up a million gazillion times. TJ, something I see special in Tipton. Can't wait to see him play. I don't know if you're gonna see Mason Tipton on Sunday. Shoot, the way the Saints did re-up. Look, I'm not taking no Mason Tipton over no Trey Palmer. Like, I'm sorry, that ain't happening. I like what I'm seeing from him, but I don't think he's better than Trey Palmer. All right, man, really good pass right there. Keenan Allen is eating here tonight. 33-year-old Keenan Allen out there working these boys. I mean, let me see what Keenan stat line. 6 catches, 59 yards, and a touchdown. Let me see. Go ahead and add some more onto that. I have to refresh the screen. I'm pretty sure. So he had 6 catches for 59 yards, 1 touchdown. I mean, he not out here stretching the field, but he's moving the chains, and that's what you need, man. You need that possession guy to be able to do things like that. Keep the drive going. Keep the drive alive. All right, 1st and 10. All right, here's the handoff to Marion Hampton. Tries to go around the side. Nick Bolton tries to tag him, but the gang is with him. All right, so still able to get him on the ground. So he lost a yard on that play. I still don't understand why you're not utilizing Najee Harris in this situation. I mean, the defense is probably there. You go. I see him in the game now. Like, you want to utilize Najee in this situation. You want to have him, wearing down the defense. They've been tackling Omarion Hampton, who is hard in his own right, but now you have an even bigger guy on the field. But right now, they got an empty backfield here. Okay, Justin Herbert, and he tries to throw the ball quickly to Quentin Johnston, but he barely gets anything. So he gets the ball out of his hand quick, but Trent McDuffie is right there. So this is going to set up a 3rd down. Pretty manageable 3rd down, by the way. 3rd and 7. I mean, not necessarily close, but, still very manageable here. All right, so the defense needs a stop. If the defense can get a stop here on this 3rd and 7, you get the ball back. Seems like the Chargers are having a hard time stopping the Chiefs. So let's see what you can do here. All right, you got Conklin, got him in motion. You got Najee Harris in the backfield here. Here we go. In the gun. Quick pass. And that pass is caught to guess who? Keenan Allen yet again. Keenan Allen with his 7th reception of the night. And every single reception he's had for the most part has been pretty clutch and meaningful. I mean, just finding the soft spots. I mean, you can't get no better than that. I mean, not trying to do nothing too crazy. Not doing anything too crazy. Just finding the soft spots in the zone. All right, here we go. Marion Hampton. Right at the top of the screen. He catches it. Runs down the field, stiff arms, and he gets out of bounds. He gets about 5 yards on the play. So this drive by the Chargers is looking pretty masterful, especially like when you consider, now that Keenan Allen is starting to catch fire. So now you're gonna have to put some attention on Keenan Allen, which is going to open up opportunity for guys like Ladd McConkey, to be able to make maybe a big play. Because now, because Keenan Allen seems like he's winning this matchup. All right, so here we go. All right, here's the snap. Here we go. And that pass is caught. That's the Trey Harris right there, the rookie out of Ole Miss. So Trey Harris gets the first down. So not nothing too major, man. They just slowly, methodically getting the ball down the field. This is a really good drive by the Chargers right now. And I anticipate them trying to run the football here. And they're throwing it again. This pass is caught. That's to Ladd McConkey. Now Ladd McConkey almost gets the first down, gets about 9 yards on the play. Yeah, he dialed in right now. This is the Justin Herbert that a lot of people want to see. This is the Justin Herbert that a lot of people, when they talk about him being a really good quarterback, being possibly one of the top quarterbacks of the league. This is the type of performances you have to have in order for you to be able to be considered among the best. Going up against a Kansas City Chiefs team, one of the best teams, in football, very respectable. All right, here's the handoff to Marion Hampton, and he tries to get it, but he does not. So this is going to set up a 3rd and 1. But, yeah, you got to be able to take advantage of these opportunities here. TJ, I should have added in my last comment that with the Carnival and not knowing the race of the person you're talking to half the time, they're even more like Nola. Who are we talking about in Brazil? Talking about in Brazil? Yeah, because I asked if anybody been to Brazil. Okay, so it is a quarterback sneak. He gets over the line, and that should be a first down. All right, so instead of Justin Herbert being a part of that tush push, they put the tight end in there, get behind the center and guard, and just leans forward. That got to be the worst, being at the bottom of that pile with all them people on top of you. All right, but anyway, Ladd McConkey in motion on the 1st and 10. Let's see what he has. He's going to him. And that's to Quentin Johnston again. And yet again, Quentin Johnston with another touchdown. Justin Herbert is on fire tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And you got to be happy for a kid like Quentin Johnston, who, people have been talking about him dropping passes. Should have been his 3rd touchdown of the night if you want to be real with it. Man, these are some really good play designs these guys are dialing up. I mean, just a deep crossing route here. I mean, cover zero. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing, man? Man, that was a terrible play. So you got a deep crosser on a cover zero, man. All you had to do is beat the safety to the sidelines. That was a terrible defensive play called by Spags in that one. Yeah, you can tell this game means a lot to the Chargers, especially a guy like Justin Herbert. What a performance, man. TJ, I was looking at the depth chart on receivers. I don't see Palmer on there. He should be on there unless I know he has to be on the active roster. They had to put him on a 53-man roster in order for him to sign with the team. So I don't see why he wouldn't be on there. Yeah, I'm looking at this right here. Man, this ain't an accurate depth chart because they got what? Chris Olave, Devon Vele, Bub Means. Nah, yeah, he on here. You got Rashid Shaheed and Trey Palmer. Yeah, he's on this list. You go to the ESPN's 2025 Saints depth chart, you'll see it. That's right, TJ. I had said earlier that Brazil is gorgeous, but you just gotta watch the humidity, your pockets, and the water. So it's like being in NOLA, only in another hemisphere. You said the humidity, your pockets. So what, they got pickpockets out there? TJ, we have no clue what the offense is. A lot of talent. So why all the pessimism? If we have a team that has playmakers at skill positions, you can put up points. So 20 points is a stretch. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I guess, look, I got a wait and see approach. I just, I don't know. I just, I got my questions about it. I'm not saying that it ain't possible, but like I said, I got a wait and see approach. Based on what I know about these players, I think they got the capability and the talent to be able to put up points. But how, are they going to be able to do it? Is the offensive line going to be able to hold up for these guys? Are they going to be able to lock in? Are they going to be able to, execute successfully? I mean, it's possible. But, we I want to make it clear, King Arthur. I don't want people I get why people are skeptical about this football team. Now, I do feel like, on one hand, people are like, oh man, they ain't nothing, they ain't never gonna be nothing. And you looking at what the Saints were under Dennis Allen, and you still looking at the team based on what Dennis Allen was as the head coach. I don't feel like that's fair, but when it comes down to it, you go by what you've seen, and what you have seen is a team that hasn't really, proven itself. So until it proves itself, I think people are gonna have their questions about it. But I agree, you want to be positive, but you also want to, wait and see to see what you want to be positive about. Even if the New Orleans Saints, let's just say they go out there and they execute really good, right? Let's just say they go out there and they really execute, and let's just say Rattler just overthrowing some guys, but they open, right? It's like, okay, man, we got something. Let's just get a little bit more accurate, right? Let's get a little bit more accurate. Let's get the ball down the field and get the, and we got something. But right now, it's just like everybody just has that wait and see approach. I have the same approach, TJ, but I don't think 3 touchdowns is crazy amount of points to expect of a professional team. Yeah, but I think a lot of people are looking at red zone issues, right? Like, okay, how many times you'll normally get down to the red zone? 3 or 4 times, right? So if you get down there, you might score, a couple touchdowns, or maybe 1 or 2 touchdowns. That's 14. Well, I guess you kick 2 field goals, that would be 20. I guess you're right, but I guess people are just looking at like, I guess they're just looking at the state of the team. I guess when you're in the grand scheme of things, you kind of right. You know, if you get down to the red zone 4 times, if you can get two touchdowns and 2 field goals, that's 20 points. So Rattler scored 20 points once in 7 starts. That's the proof. Nah, look, but see that's what I'm saying. Like we still holding him accountable for what the last offense was. Like you don't know what he gonna be under Kellen Moore's offense. Like you can't say, oh, that's who he is because he did this X, Y, and Z. Like I'm not putting limits on his capabilities because we know that when guys can join to other coordinators, sometimes it can help them become a better version of themselves. So I'm not gonna I'm not gonna completely just look at it that way. Like I think a lot of people are looking at, oh man, he went 0-6 as a starter, but look, the Saints were in shambles. Like how you was gonna win with that? I mean, it was beyond me. A bunch of backup receivers, guys that you just got off the scrap heap, backup running backs, backup offensive line. Like your main offensive lineman who was calling out protection is not there for you. And you have to basically see the field and try to figure out ways to try to get things done on your own. Like that's tough, man. So we can't just say, oh man, he did this. But man, we know the Saints were a terrible football team. Those guys did not want to play for Dennis Allen. They were jumping for joy when Homie got fired, smiling, like they didn't want to play for that dude. So I'm willing to give Spencer Rattler an opportunity. So I guess it's not out of realm of possibility to score 20 points. All right. And there goes the sack. So he got 4 minutes left. That's definitely not what you want. But this has been a great performance by the Los Angeles Chargers tonight. All right, so here we go. Throws the ball. That pass is caught. And, man, Hollywood Brown takes a huge hit. But he's still able to hold on to the football. All right, so they got to get moving, man. If you want to, you got all 3 timeouts. Let's see. Patrick Mahomes dumps it down to Isaiah Pacheco, and he gets out of bounds. All right, so real smart play right there by a veteran. And that's when you want to run out of bounds. I mean, you look at this Chargers team, man, they really want this game. They want this game badly. And you had to wonder, very early in this game, how bad did the Chiefs want it? It seemed like they started to wake up a little bit towards, the second half. All right, Patrick Mahomes in the gun, looking, scrambles, checks the ball down to Pacheco, and really good tackle right there by Derwin James. Right there on the spot, man. All right, so under 4 minutes right here. On the third down, you gotta hustle up here. I mean, you don't have to hurry. You can still call it, you still got plenty of time. You got 3 timeouts. But right now, the clock is in favor of the Chargers. So got a 3rd and 7 here. If nobody's open, you can look for Patrick Mahomes, maybe try to scramble here. All right, so here we go. We got the pressure in the pocket. Pocket collapsing. Tries to throw the ball, and it's incomplete. Tried to get it to Kareem Hunt. Derwin James yet again just flying in there. So right now, this is probably the last chance. Last chance for the Kansas City Chiefs here. It definitely is 4-down territory. So right there, you keep Patrick Mahomes in the pocket. Tries to dump it off to Kareem Hunt. Derwin James just right there. All right, so right now you got to call your best play. You got not the play you like, but your best play. Let's see, in the gun on the 4th and 7. All right, here we go. They bring in pressure. Khalil Mack gets around the side, rushes, throws the ball down the field, and it is caught by Hollywood Brown. Oh my goodness, what a clutch play. You got Khalil Mack trying to gun you down, gets free, you're rolling, and he just slings that rock down the field. I mean, look, Man, what a play. What a play. Sheesh. Here we go. All right. And batted down again. And Tart has been a problem. 3 pass deflections for the big man in this game. This continues to get his hands up. But what a throw by Patrick Mahomes. I mean, rolling to his right. Slings the ball back to the middle of the field on the run and throws the ball about 30 yards down the field on a rope to Hollywood Brown. Man, they don't get no better than that, man. And when people talk about, man, I don't think bro. This is why this man is the best quarterback of his generation. I don't care what anybody say. I don't care what top 10 list you got. My list will always consider that should have been a touchdown. That was just a bad play. Travis Kelce, and that should have been a touchdown. Oh, walk-in touchdown. All right, so you got 3rd and goal. So you have to wonder, Mike, if you can't get it on 3rd down, are you going to kick a field goal, try to play defense, and try to get one more possession to try to win this football game late? So it looked like Patrick Mahomes wanted Travis Kelce to keep running. Travis Kelce stops. So it's 3rd and goal. So I'm like I said, you're wondering, and here we go, and that's incomplete. So to me, your best bet is to kick a field goal here. Kick a field goal, and then play defense, and you can possibly be able to get the ball back and maybe win this game by 1 point. But what a clutch throw right there. That was an incredible throw by Patrick Mahomes. TJ, how much time did that last Charger drive take up? Let me take a look. Let me go take a look at the drive summary here. All right, so that last drive, it was 11 plays, 74 yards, took up 7 minutes and 2 seconds off the clock. So it was an 11-play drive that, ended in a Quentin Johnston touchdown there. TJ, what 3 rookies are you excited to see from the Saints this year? I'm excited to see what Danny Stutzman can do, Quincy Riley, and Sinker. Jonas Sinker. I want to see what Jonas can do. I'm excited about seeing what these young players can do, man. Because they're going to need them. They're going to need them. Because the way things been going for like players like Pete Warner and all, and guys like that, Danny, it's just a matter of time Danny Stutzman going to end up playing. Chargers going to close this out with their powerful run game. Yeah, I mean, look, I think they've been running the ball well. This is a time where I feel like you need to utilize Najee Harris. He hasn't been in the game, so he still has fresh legs. Like you done wore him down with a Marion Hampton, so why not use Najee Harris late? I mean, these guys don't want to tackle this guy like late in the game, and he come in with fresh legs. Geez, they ate that clock. Yeah, they ate up a lot of clock. I mean, because they kept getting first down. They kept converting. Like they had like 3 or 4 first downs on that 11-play drive. Chiefs couldn't get off the field. And that, man, what a terrible defensive play call. Like you call cover 0 on that play. That was just, that was horrible. I don't know what he was thinking of that. That shallow cross just left that safety out there all by himself. That was just a bad play. How is TJ going to close out this live stream with the dance he do when he plays the outro? Say it, fam. Say that. Say it. Who that? Yeah, all I gotta say is who that. Hit the beanie wing. Gotta hit the beanie wing at the end of it. But yeah, man, since we're doing a cross promotion, we just gonna like end the night. When I do like these cross promotional episodes, and if you're here, I ask that you subscribe to the State of NFL podcast. It doesn't have an intro, so it don't have an intro. So there's that. I purposely did that, so just want to kind of get right into the news. But yeah, man, shouts out to everybody that has subscribed to the channel. We got a couple new subscribers there, but if you're looking at this right now, I'm going to go ahead and put the link inside of the comments. Make sure that you subscribe to the State of NFL. Hit the link and go over to the State of NFL. Hit that subscribe button. Help that channel to grow. Hey TJ, what you think the Saints need to do in order to beat Arizona? Just don't beat themselves with self-inflicted wounds like holding penalties, and when you have big time plays not getting called back because somebody holding, or defense not giving up chunk plays, not allowing Kyler Murray to just scramble around and be free all day and night. Yeah, that's how you do it. All right, but 2 minutes 34 seconds left for the Chargers, and now you got Amari and Hampton in the game. This is the time where your running game needs to be key. All right, so here we go. Play action, looking, pass caught, down the field, and that is Disley, Will Disley, more of a blocking tight end, but occasionally, they'll probably have him sneak out a little bit. He's more that blocking tight end for him, but he was able to sneak out. Conklin is more their pass catching tight end. Man, that's just, I don't know. I mean, you got two tight end set out there, one wide receiver. Everybody just started probably going to be a running play. 7 or 8 meetings decided by one score. Kansas City 7-1 record in 8 meetings between the quarterback. So I can see this is why this means so much to Justin Herbert, man. Like, this man wants to win. And finally, it seemed like he got a good coach that'll be able to put him in a position to do so with Jim Harbaugh. All right, so here we go. You need these first downs. All right, so here's a run with Amari and Hampton. And so with that, here's second down. So Kansas City uses another timeout. So they have one more timeout plus the 2-minute warning. But you have to believe that if they convert one more first down, man, this game is pretty much over. Charger quarterback with 300 yards and 3 passing touchdowns. Yep, in the season opener. I mean, what a great performance by Justin Herbert, but this means absolutely nothing if you don't win this football game. Means absolutely nothing. All right, so here we go. We got Najee Harris in motion, which I feel like he should have been out there in the first place, but I digress. Nick Bolton tried to get around there. He sneaks around and he gets sacked. So Drew Tranquill left like he was dealing with a leg, the leg injury. Then all of a sudden, all right, so it's their final timeout. You're able to get around there. Good play by the linebacker Tranquill right there. So it's going to be to get down to the 2-minute warning. All right, so it's 3rd and 14. You man, I know I understand what Kurt Warner's saying, but they're gonna throw this football. I'll be shocked if they run this football. I'll be shocked. You try to win a football game. You don't give that. There you go. Scramble around. Oh, he up. And that's a wrap. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap. Wow. Unbelievable. I'm at a loss. How in God's name How in God's name on a 3rd and 14? What is it, 3rd and 14? How on a 3rd and 14 do you allow that to happen? Why in God, like why in the man? Wow, unbelievable. Hey TJ, follow your commentary. Now in after show boy tonight. Who that? Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. TJ, that slide is going to be a meme. Yeah. Look, I told you, man, Justin Herbert won this game. To be honest with you, man, it's good to see this side of Justin Herbert. A lot of people don't feel like, he had much of a personality. You wonder, like, man, does winning mean that much to him? Like, these type of games, you can tell. Can't wait to hear your Saints versus Cards preview. Yeah, I'm planning on doing that. Y'all know how I do it. I do it before the game. Thanks, TJ, for hosting this. Just woke up a bit ago. Okay, yeah, man. No problem. Appreciate you for being here. Like I enjoy actually, doing these watch alongs and watching them, and being able to, chop it up with different fans, man. Different fans of different teams, and appreciate it. TJ, I keep it NOLA up here in Philly, but my annual tradition of cooking a pot of gumbo for week 1 might be interrupted for a family box of Popeyes with sides Sunday. Must be getting old. Look, I get it, man. All that preparation and trying to get this stuff done. I get it. Trust and believe I get it. TJ, talk about self-inflicted wounds. Remember when Dalton started against the Cardinals a few years ago? Dude was a pick 6 machine. I think Arizona had 40 plus that game. Yeah, man. Yeah. Andy Dalton. Man, we are really in the dark ages of Saints football, man. Really in the dark ages of Saints football. Well, we about to start winding this down. Like I said, 2 minutes left. They about to hit the prayer formation. And by prayer, I mean they about to take a knee. So this game is pretty much over. But I'm just wondering to myself, how in God's name, on a 3rd and 14, do you allow Justin Herbert to just scramble outside the pocket like this? Don't put no pressure on him. Don't have no spy. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, and you're playing the sticks. Like, why are you not playing the sticks? They're not playing the sticks at all. There is nobody is playing the sticks. It's 3rd and 14. Now, you ain't lying. Now, it's all y'all fault. Let's just keep it 100. Chris Jones has been a non-factor in this game tonight. I mean, he's been like, been plugging up the hole up front, but he ain't really been as active as he normally is. And Drew Trank, I don't know what I don't know if that like I don't know what's going on with that. I just don't get it. I mean, the whole right side of the field was completely empty. I mean, there was only 2 individuals that were there. There was space and opportunity. How in the world did he do that? I just terrible. There had to be some type of miscommunication or something. But the Kansas City Chiefs are now 0-1, and the Los Angeles Chargers are now 1-0. And normally in situations like this, you can go back and regroup, and there's plenty of football needs to be played this season. It's not an indicator of how this season can unfold, but this is a divisional game. So when you start like getting towards the end and teams' records are starting to look virtually identical, these type of games matter. But I thought both teams like played pretty hard down the stretch, man. Patrick Mahomes with the late game heroics just was not enough for the Kansas City Chiefs to get it done. He finishes with 24-39, 258 yards and 1 touchdown. Then you have Justin Herbert, who was 25 of 34, 318 yards and 3 touchdowns. He was sacked 3 times. Patrick Mahomes was sacked 2. So both of these quarterbacks really came on down the stretch. You have Justin Herbert with a quarterback rating of 131 and Patrick Mahomes with a quarterback rating of 89. So Justin Herbert playing some of his best football and the brightest of lights, and look like, he's poised to have a really solid season. And if he can stay healthy and they can play like this, trust and believe, man, the Chargers can be there because they got the right coach. They got the right coach, and it seems like, to me, they have the right quarterback and pieces around them. So let's see if they can actually get this thing done, man. Facts, TJ, I didn't hear Jones' name all night. Then the Chiefs got to play Philly next. Yeah, it's going to be tough, man. Tough. Chargers are a tough team. Yeah, I mean, look, Jim Harbaugh is a great coach, and he has a way of getting the best out of these quarterbacks, man. I mean, Justin Herbert already had something to offer, so I think it's the right coach and quarterback combination right here. So I think you're going to see Justin Herbert take a step forward this season, and I'm happy for him because I actually like the guy. He seemed like he's just about his business. He ain't out here trying to be all up in your face, all up in the videos, right? He seemed like he plays his position, does his job, go home. I respect that. But thank you all so much for checking out the State of NFL as well as the State of Saints podcast, cross-promotional edition of the Watch Along between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Los Angeles Chargers get the job done, win the game by a score of 27-21. Justin Herbert on a 3rd and 14 scrambles and slides like he going to third base in order to seal the deal for his Los Angeles Chargers to go 1-0. And the Kansas City Chiefs, the runner-up of last year's Super Bowl, moved to 0-1. So we're going to see how this is going to unfold. This was a divisional matchup. Can the Kansas City Chiefs get back on a horse next week? Can the Chargers build on this momentum that they have? We're going to find out. All right. Appreciate you all. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. You can follow me on X at TJAYJones8. Make sure that you check out the State of the NFL and State of the Saints. Also, the NFC South Roundtable every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you check it out. Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat? And for those on the State of the NFL, I'll see you down the road.